SCENTSY is a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, and this is going to be another long video. This is the CEO and president himself of SCENTSY, Dan Orchard, giving an extended, I think it's a training on the new changes that SCENTSY is introducing. This probably could have been sent in an email, but like in all these commercial cults, everything is about just wasting as much of the participants' time as possible and to make things as complicated as possible too. The reason why I make these longer videos is because it's not just about informing the public about these scams. It's about helping people deprogram from other multi-level marketing companies too. It helps to see somebody outside of this point out every single thing that is going on. So it could be frustrating if you're coming across my content and you think, I would wish you could just give a summary of this and just get to the point. That's not the approach that I use. But fortunately for you, there are lots and lots of other amazing anti-MLM content creators out here that cover all different kinds of multi-level marketing companies. And they might use that approach that you find. This is just the way that I choose to create content. And so I just wanted to explain a little bit about why some of these videos go on so long and why I pause it so frequently to add my commentary to it. And it helps not just SCENTSY participants, but it also helps other participants leaving other multi-level marketing companies because these things follow a template, a playbook. We all have the same experiences. You know, if you're not selling shampoo, you're selling wax melts or warmers. I learned that was the term instead of a doohickey thingamabob. You put the wax puck in to melt, you put it in a warmer. That's what it's called. But anyway, there's been some changes that have been announced at SCENTSY, and a lot of people are leaving the company. And I had, been tipped off by this and just kind of gave my initial reaction to it, just showing what happens when an announcement is made by the company and participants choose to leave, and a lot of participants just choose to turn on them. Oh man, we have a stampede of angry uplines that come to my video and gave me a thumbs down. They had poopy pants. They weren't postured around their network marketing business, I'll tell you that. Anyway, reference to my time in the coaching cult called Rank Makers. And if you stick around long enough, you'll start picking up that lingo too. So this is a training, I believe, from the CEO. It is from the CEO. I think it's explaining about all the changes because somebody sent this to me. It's on Vimeo. I'm going to give you I'll leave the link in the description for you below. So if you are somebody that just wants to see the video before it's taken down, follow that link, download the link, and you can watch it sans my commentary. And here we go. Oh, another reason. It's like a false summit. You think you're at the top. You're like, there's still one more peak to get to. The other reason I really like to pick apart anytime a CEO or a president or a founder makes an announcement or puts themselves out there is because they often hide behind their participants. They have a human shield. They will give trainings on Zoom calls, private Zoom calls in different Facebook groups to the tops of the pyramid schemes, and they will give incorrect information. They knowingly do this and they get away with it because they'll say, well, we never posted it on our website. Therefore, it's just these nasty participants that just were bad actors and we've just terminated them. They're no longer going to be a problem. This is the standard of behavior that happens across multi-level marketing companies. So when I get a chance to see one of these CEOs finally revealed, it's about time that the eye of scrutiny was turned on them because they're the people that are causing all the harm to the vast majority of participants, which are women. If you think in Canada, the statistics are 1.1 million Canadians are considered independent sales participants, or whatever the terminology that the DSA Canada uses, the Direct Sellers Association of Canada. People that have signed up for the businesses in any, what they think is a business in any multi-level marketing company. That's 924,000 Canadian women that are losing money each year because over 99% of people must lose money. We are never taught to track our expenses in any of these multi-level marketing companies. And it's quite sobering if you have the courage to do that and actually sit down. Most of us never do. It's only long after we leave, we might have the stomach to just sit down and actually calculate it because it's too much. Looking at our finances, how we were manipulated to just pump thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, years of our lives into something that was just a fraud because multi-level marketing is legalized fraud. It's just too much for many of us to do. So that's it. I'm done talking now. Let's get onto this reaction of this CEO of SCENTSY. And it's over an hour long. His announcement, it's over an hour. So you know this is going to be a long video with me at the helm.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special Zoom invitation. It's great to have you here. I'm doing a Zoom from our leadership.
Oh my God.
And right after some changes that we made. So we wanted to make sure that we were able to connect with you and be able to...
Somebody's in the background, Dan.
Share some of that
Tell them to shut
insight
up.
and context of the reasons why we're making the changes, as well as...
Oh my God. You couldn't have figured this out before. This is the CEO of SCENTSY. Look at this. They're at leadership. So what does that mean? This is probably one of those reward trips where if it's usually the same people at the top of the SCENTSY pyramid scheme that are all traveling somewhere. Usually it's like an incredible exotic location nobody has ever heard of, someplace like Cancun or Las Vegas. They're probably somewhere like that. And he's going to make this lengthy. This is over an hour long, and you've got some guy walking around in the background. Could you not have just taken 5 minutes and just said, okay, I'm going to do this presentation out of respect for the majority of participants in my pyramid scheme that I'm running, that I'm the CEO of? Out of respect for them, could you just maybe like get the fuck out of the room while I do this presentation? This guy's like, well, no, nobody really cares anyway. They're just going to gaslight each other. This is so unprofessional. This is the CEO of an MLM. Love to see it.
Answer lots of the questions that have come in. So let me first start off by welcoming you to the Zoom call, whether you're listening live or you are listening to this as a recording. It's great to have you. Thank you for investing your time into finding out a little bit more. I'm hopeful that the context and some of the reasoning why, and also the potential will help in answering lots of your questions and prepare us all for...
It's bad when the CEO has to come on and just flounder. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be good. This is giving... my spidey senses are picking up. This is reminding me of Mon 8 and like the Erdenat is starting to like talk about cocaine water. I'm getting that feel. It's never a good sign when you have a CEO trying to explain how this is going to be benefiting you. Here we go.
What's to come. Now, in my Zoom, I'm on the video. I'm going to be sharing the context that I gave our leadership group here. So you'll have the same context that they just received. In this room with me...
Is the context in the room with you right now? Or is it your buddy Frank? Where'd Frank go? Did he go to the bathroom or did he exit the premises?
I have Deb Bowden. She's helping administrating the Zoom call. I also have Chuck. He's helping me as well.
Oh, thanks, Chuck. That's great. What's up, Chuck? Administering the Zoom call. You just start it and you start talking. They're so unprepared and ill-equipped. This is so disrespectful of all these participants' time, And there's people like me that are speaking out against multi-level marketing companies, right? And then there's people in various stages of waking up. I've glanced through some of my comments in my last video about SCENTSY, and there's people that are like, I've woken up and I've gotten out. I'm telling everybody not to do it. I'm telling people to buy wax melts at another store. And then there's other people that are like, I like it. I like my products. I'm confused. And then they're going to be in these high control groups, the various SCENTSY groups, where they're being told you can't look at anybody that is actually calculating their expenses. They're a hater. They want to sabotage you. They want you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. And then you have this cluck, the CEO. He can't even get his shit together to just make a Zoom call. He's like, I'm in a room here and there was a guy walking behind me. And thanks for Chuck. Thanks for bringing that up, Chuck. Who's Chuck? Does Chuck know Jim from Mon 8? This is great. It's all men too, right?
And what we have done, just so we can stay in this flow of giving context and even some data and some numbers. I hope that's okay. I'm kind of a
I hope
numbers
so.
geek a little bit, but it.
Are you familiar with the statistic that over 99% of people lose money in pyramid schemes? I think that's why you're the CEO of this winning initiative. This is a real whiz banger of an endeavor. Oh, smart businessmen own these things, and they're the CEOs and presidents of them. They're certainly not a participant in them.
Provides extremely important insight
Oh,
into what's
get on with it.
happening with SCENTSY, what's happening, with the industry really, and it highlights what we need to focus on. So I'll be sharing some of those things with you.
Oh, thanks for the introduction to this lengthy thing. We're going to be getting context
as well, for your questions. And we've received quite a few via Facebook or individually. So keep those coming in. You can use the Q&A option in Zoom to enter in your question.
They're so bewildered, these CEOs. It's like they've just discovered the internet. It's baffling to me that their businesses are run on social media, and yet they have no clue how these things work. It's like we got messages on the Facebook and on the Zoom. There is a Q&A feature. People are like, oh my God, like, we know, Dan, like, get on with this. You said you're giving the context. Can you just like give us the announcement of what the hell is going on with SCENTSY?
As we go. We'll be watching that. Plus, I've gathered lots of questions over the last couple of days to make sure that I can give answers as I go through this presentation. I will be sharing a PowerPoint because some of the.
Okay, here's another tip for you, Dan. Instead of talking about all the things that you're going to be talking about in the presentation, you figure that stuff out beforehand. And then once you start the Zoom presentation, you just launch into it. So you don't need to create curiosity about the Zoom meeting that you're already attending and everybody's attending to give your context. You could be like, good morning, everyone. My name is Dan Orchard. I'm the CEO and president of SCENTSY. I've had we've made a lot of changes. I'm here at the leadership. Oh, Frank, are you getting out of the room? Thanks there, buddy. And big thanks to my buddy Chuck, who's administering the Zoom call. Let's get right into this. The first thing, SCENTSY has made this change of 200 PV or 250 PRV. You see how quick that goes? I think that's under a minute that I just said that. What are you doing? Rambling on,
These things I need to show you pictures of, and I think that makes the most sense to do that with. So we'll go that way. So let me go ahead and share. Fantastic. Okay. All right. Once again, thank you. Let's see here. Anything else that I want to
I'm bigger than you
mention?
are.
I realize change
Now I'm
is
bigger.
a big deal, and we don't take it lightly. We've spent a lot of time over the last few months, up to 6 months, in a discovery mode and looking at our numbers, looking at our trends, looking at the behaviors of what's happening out in the market. We're in 14 different countries, and we are seeing a lot of similarities between the countries, and also, like I mentioned, some really key insightful data that really highlights the areas that we really need to focus on and turn the direction we're going in around. That's what it comes down to. So first, let me go ahead and start talking a little bit about really the industry and where SCENTSY is, mostly giving context to the state of the business and what is going to be crucial for you, your teams, and SCENTSY here in 2025. So let me go ahead and get to that here. So let me start talking about momentum. Momentum is fundamental to.
You see, this is going to go on. I wonder how long he's going to talk before he actually says something. I should have worn my lilac sweater. I was contemplating it. It was either that or my dark blue tank top. I chose this one, but damn it, I should have listened to my instincts because we would have been matching.
Direct selling. It's either growing or that momentum is declining. And recently we've seen a decline in momentum really across just about every single direct selling companies. And if I look at that and see what and how people have responded, I know you've seen it as well, but there has been some pretty significant changes for some companies. Some companies have either changed their business model, gone more single level or affiliate model. Some have have sold to private equity firms. Some have different financial situations where they have commitments to banks or investors that require them to make certain changes. And others have even closed. So it's not something that has been a bright spot for sure for the industry. And I realized that it's not hard to project that same kind of thought process as SCENTSY's in the direct selling market, in that same industry. And when it's happening all around us, it's hard not to believe, okay, this is what's happening when we have a contraction as well. But one of the things I wanted to make sure I told you, and I wanted to be very clear on and clear up right now, is SCENTSY's taking a different path. We are doubling down on the direct selling fundamentals rather than changing our business model. We are focused on supporting you and your teams and your efforts to be active, to sell, to recruit, and promote.
Whoa, he said the word recruit. That was a little bit of slip of the tongue there. They're doubling down. So, you know, and I think of the SCENTSY participants. I think of people at all levels of waking up and where they're at in SCENTSY and in other multi-level marketing companies too, because you go through different stages of awareness. And there's people where they'll be tuning into this and this is kind of going over their head or in one ear and out the other. They just love their product so much. They're so excited about the next sale and they just maybe, you know, they can't wait to get the next warmer and they, you know, it's January, so maybe there's like a winter sale on some wax melt that they really like and they want to stock up. Like that's what they're so focused and passionate on. And maybe they're helping get an order for somebody they've just introduced to it and they like nice smelling things too. And they don't realize this whole thing that they're a part of, that they are unaware that they're paying this man's salary. He's not paying them, they're paying him. And it's made to look like he's doing you a favor. The direct selling industry, there's been a contraction. Like this isn't landing with the most of the participants in SCENTSY. It just isn't, because it can't when you're involved in one of these things. Perhaps, you know, higher up, the higher up as you rank up, because then you start to see and you start to become, there's like a level of understanding that you're complicit in the harm that you're doing with others. Not everybody, a lot of people can be quite up there for a number of years and they finally see through what's going on. But there's a good chance that a lot of these people near the top of these things, they understand. They know the harm that they're doing to other people and they make it okay. They'll tell themselves things like, well, I retired my husband and he could never possibly get another job. And I could never possibly get another job because SCENTSY now is my only income. And I have this many kids and that makes it okay for me to continue to scam and defraud other people. Meanwhile, their downline, they have to get another job. Their husband needs to get another job. They might need to remortgage their home. It's okay because this person who is talking about getting out of their comfort zone and showing up despite and until is too fucking lazy to go and get another job and to step outside of their comfort zones and do what they're telling their downline to do, all because they're taking money from the people who are the most vulnerable and just love their wax melts. Let's go back to Dan.
And as long as you are all in, we are all in. That's our commitment. We want to help you. We want to support you and be successful as a team together. And the fact of the matter is, we are in a decline. Things are coming down. Good. It's not the ideal situation where we are growing, but we are in a contraction mode. And right now, and even though we are still in the black, we're still profitable. Things may be getting a little bit thinner, but we are still in the black and happy about that. We are in a good place to respond with you and focus on building hope and momentum. Speaking of hope and momentum, let me share with you.
And what's going to happen is after this call, you're going to see participants post on Facebook or Instagram, so much hope. They're like, our CEO really understands us. We're not going anywhere. Other companies have given up, But SCENTSY believes in us, the participants. We're doubling down. They're going to cling onto that word momentum, and they're going to feel empowered. They're going to feel like their company has their back, and they're going to spend even more money without tracking their expenses. As this company, like all MLMs, continue to decline. I hope SCENTSY goes next. I wonder what the first MLM of 2025 is going to fall. Maybe one already has. There's so many out there. There's so many that I don't even know were MLMs. I've just never even heard of them. And then I find out through, different forums, oh, that was a company and it already shut down. Never even heard of it. So maybe one has already shut down, but I'd like to see one of these larger ones, one of these ones that have more public recognition. I'd like to see one of these tank first. I'd like to see it happen in January. It would be nice to see one fall each month. That would be great. Help these participants get on with their lives,
A quote that I came across that I really appreciate here. There we go. People speak of hope as if...
This is unprofessional. This is a joke. This is a CEO of a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, wasting the participants' time, which the majority of them are women. And he can't get to the point. He hasn't said any numbers or data. He says he's a numbers geek. Has he introduced any numbers at all yet? Just spoke in vague terms. We're very happy that we're in the black, but things are getting a little bit thinner. Now what I'm going to do is just emotionally manipulate you and start off with a quote. You are wasting everybody's time, man. Wow. This is so stupid. Look at this guy. You should be embarrassed.
This is delicate, ephemeral thing made of whispers and spider webs. It's not. Hope has dirt on her face, blood on her knuckles, the grit of cobblestones in her hair, and just spat out a tooth as she rises for another go.
That's a more accurate description of whistleblowers in the anti-MLM movement, to be honest. Not somebody that is at the top, that is a CEO and a president of a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme, trying to rally the vast majority of the participants, which are women, to just keep buying more wax melts. Can you imagine? This is like inspiring. Hope has dirt on her face, blood on her knuckles. Blood on her knuckles for what? To believe in the company, to keep giving us money. Don't cancel your auto ship. Where's the numbers? You're a numbers guy. Where are the numbers? He would be laughed out of any actual meeting or boardroom. When they have their meetings, if they have shareholders, whatever, none of this shit's going on. People want to see the numbers. How much money am I making? This is reserved for people in a commercial cult. This is just done to manipulate you, distract you.
If I look at that quote, and I came across it as I was preparing all of these changes, knowing that we need to introduce it to all of you and give you the...
You're supposed to cite your sources too there, bub. Who is this? Who wrote this?
Context. It's hope is something that isn't something that you sit back and it's just given to you. We're going to have to work hard. We're going to have to work together. And I know that as we do, and we put forth the work, we're going to build that hope, which is so critical at SCENTSY. Now,
disgusting.
It's not done automatically.
Another weak man at the top of a weak pyramid scheme, trying to emotionally manipulate a bunch of women to give him more money to keep this scam rolling with this quote. He even used cursive. It's not. This is so stupid.
Like I mentioned, and a great place to start talking about SCENTSY and talk about the hope is our core, our foundation, our three core values of simplicity, authenticity, and generosity.
Is the numbers showing up anytime soon, Dan?
It is these core values that really has built SCENTSY. It's unique, and it takes what is otherwise just a transactional relationship between a buyer and a seller, and it makes it to something special, something transformational, something that we can feel contributes to people's lives and helps them be their best selves. And when we double down on our motto of...
Look, I misspeak a lot of the times. I make up words and I try to correct myself. But again, as a CEO, it would be helpful and it would be more professional if you learned how to actually, speak the fucking English language. It's not selves, it's selves. It's not lifes, it's lives. You should be held to a higher standard. This presentation is a joke.
Contributing more than we take. We strengthen those relationships we strive to build. We are a family-friendly business opportunity that brings...
You're not a business opportunity. SCENTSY is not a business opportunity, and it's not a business model. Do you see how horrible this is? How these CEOs will actually, this is when they come in. They're like, okay, there's enough people leaving now. There's enough people asking questions that we need to do something. And this is what they do. They come in full steam ahead with the emotional manipulation. Contribute more than you take. We're about a family. How is this a family when more than 99% of people are losing money? In your family, if you have 99%, over 99% of your family losing, and you haven't taught any of them ever throughout the years to just track their expenses and do what's financially prudent to them, do you think that's beneficial? Do you think that's caring and supportive? Do you think that's simple, authentic, and generous? Or do you think these are just terms thrown about to shut down any kind of critical thinking? Because your participants can latch onto it. It sounds good. They can take the moral high ground and say, but I'm generous. This is a family company. They don't need to think too deeply. They don't need to actually sit down and calculate their expenses and be like, why is it that there's all these flash sales that override my common sense, that I'm like just almost manipulated to keep buying these things? I'm like, nobody has a gun to my head, and yet I'm part of this community. And for so many years, I've never actually tracked my expenses until now. And now I need to do what's right for me and my family. What's right for me and my family isn't a company, and it certainly isn't Dan in his lilac polo shirt with Chuck administering the Zoom telling me that I need to keep contributing more than I take, which means giving him more money and buying more things that I don't need, because I've sat down and I've added up all my wax melts and all my warmers that I bought over the years, and I've spent way more money than I've even made. And I'm feeling complicated feelings about that. I don't understand why I didn't do this sooner. I'm feeling like it's my fault. And at the same time, I'm looking around and nobody has ever been encouraged to do this. And the veil starts to lift. And Dan keeps putting more cursive quotes up.
Value to the world, which is really SCENTSY's aspirational why. And we talk about why being so important, because that's what makes direct selling, that's what makes SCENTSY so different, is that it is aspirational, that we can help others bring value to their lives, to change the trajectory of where they are and what they want to become.
That's the difference between SCENTSY. That's a commercial cult. That's every commercial cult. We can change the trajectory of their lives. Vague platitudes, again, meaning nothing. It sounds good. Oh, are you selling just a SCENTSY wax melt and a warmer? No, I'm going to change the trajectory of your life. Well, how does that work? Well, you join our community of like-minded people, and you'll never track your expenses, and you'll spend more and more and more money. And you substitute out the product, you substitute out the name of the company, and my God, you've just described a cult. And with SCENTSY, like all other MLMs, it's a commercial cult. You don't know that you're in a cult when you're in one. You can't see it. If you did, you wouldn't be in it.
At a more simple level, and what makes SCENTSY and differentiates ourselves from box stores and e-commerce is that we can provide a level of customer service and connection to our customers and to our team members that far exceeds that simple relationship that is felt.
Heard it all before. Every MLM says the same thing. This is about customer service. Nobody wants customer service. Why on earth would I want to waste more time out of my day when I can figure out that I can take a warmer, plug it into the wall, unwrap a plastic wax melt and put it in there and it melts? Why on earth would I need to have somebody else coach me through this process unless they were going to be dripping on me in order to recruit me to just sign up for the discount at a future date. Maybe I could earn some extra money online too. I don't need to have, that's not customer service. I don't need to have customer service to simply place an order of wax melts and warmers. What the fuck are these things supposed to do? Are they going to cook dinner? Are they going to vacuum my floor? Then I don't need to have somebody tell me that there's going to be a flash sale coming on when I could get an email from the company. MLM is dying. And this tired rhetoric, people are seeing through it. People have had enough. People who have been defrauded are speaking out. They're making content all over the place. YouTube, they were making it on TikTok. If you're in Canada, you're still making it on TikTok. Maybe TikTok will come back in the US. Making it on Substack. People are writing articles. Instagram, Facebook, other social media platforms too.
From selling a product. You get to provide and make connections to people at a whole new level. And that's what continues to separate ourselves from other businesses and other directs, from other e-commerce and buyers and seller situations. And each time we do this, when we focus on our core values, when we lean into contribute more than we take, we are able to achieve an unprecedented hope, an unprecedented level of momentum and engagement. And that's something special.
Your business is going to continue to contract, Dan. Your company's a fucking joke. This lame attempt at trying to get the majority of people in here who are women to just keep buying stuff is pathetic. You should be ashamed of this. 10 minutes and 28 seconds into his presentation, hasn't mentioned numbers or data at all yet. I wonder if he will. Let's talk about hope and momentum. Just stay in. It's going to happen. You got to get blood on your knuckles, cobblestones in your hair, a warrior selling SCENTSY wax melts. You pull out a frickin' sword, and on the shield is a frickin' Disney figurine. This is absurd, but it makes sense when you look at it in terms of a cult and how cults operate and how they recruit and how they have to work so hard to keep people in. These people that own them, these CEOs, these presidents, they know exactly what's going on. They talk with each other. I wonder if this guy met at the DSA. I wonder if he tuned into that Zoom call in 2021.
That's where I wanted to start to build from, as we have that common goal, that common source of why we are part of that SCENTSY family. It's something special and something that I would never, ever want to forget. Now, even with those core values, even with our motto of contributing more than we take, our momentum has faltered. Those reasons.
What are participants exactly contributing more than they take? What does that mean exactly? Does that mean they have to spend more money in the company than what they're getting paid? Does it mean that they have to buy samples, make up little gift baskets, and give it out to the public to just spread the good word that is the Lord and Savior SCENTSY? What does it mean giving more than you take? It's a good little thing that sounds like it's a sound bite. But when you're in one of these high control groups, it's just meant to shut down your thinking. So you're like, oh, we contribute more than we take. What are you doing exactly to run your business that is this tenet? That this is, maybe this is why your business is failing. Maybe this is why you're not making any money. Maybe because you're giving more than you're taking. Maybe you should be getting an income for all the work that you're doing online. Or you're going to get paid in hope. You have to work to get hope. You can't just have hope. No. You have to pay on auto ship to get hope. You have to work really hard to get hope. He's just redefining what hope is.
Are both out of our control and some of them are within our control. But it is so important that we rebuild that momentum here at SCENTSY for you, for the home office, or to support you in all of your goals that you want to achieve. And as we did this, we identified 4 focus areas, the most important areas to focus on in 2025. And these are: number 1, new customer acquisition.
Define customer. Are your distributors also calculated as customers, or does this presentation not equate to what an official statement released by SCENTSY would say? Say the Federal Trade Commission were to ask you, Dan, you're the CEO and president of SCENTSY. Can you give us from last year, fiscal year 2023, 2024, what are the retail sales, people who are not distributors of your company, versus the sales of your distributors? And do you categorize all of that as retail sales? Can you please give us this? What would your answer be? Would you say, oh, we don't have that on hand?
Okay. New customer acquisition, meaning new eyeballs or new customers coming into SCENTSY. This is the number one thing. The most important thing in 2025 is getting new customers into SCENTSY. Okay. Secondly, it's customer engagement. You know, once you have that new customer, you want to follow up, you want to make those connections, you want to make sure that they're enjoying the SCENTSY products, and making sure that you've
this is why people don't want to sign up with an MLM, because they know that they're cults. Even if you don't agree, or you're like, well, it can't be a cult because they just sell oils or that, you can't get away from the discussion. You can't outrun the growing number of people speaking out about it. So just from that noise around, you're going to have to try to get your way through it. It's not worth it. It's easier to just go on Amazon and buy something, go on to Etsy, go anywhere else. I don't want someone to keep following up with me and engaging with me because I bought a wax melt and a warmer. For the love of God, I bought it because I would want to have my house smell nice. I don't need to keep talking about it. I don't need to be trying to get into some Facebook group to buy more of it. I just want the purchase. But this is how the product is being used to lure you in. So they're saying it's oh, it's about customer engagement. Engagement about what? About a wax melt? I don't need to know all the ingredients. Some people do, but there's you run out of runway here of the information that people require. This isn't a difficult purchase. It's not a complicated skincare routine where you're hiring a dietitian, or there's going to be a lot of changes in your life. This is something that you plug in and you put it in on the little saucer and it melts. How much help and interference do you need from someone who's going to be coming hot off a training like this, stars in their eyes, thinking about hope and blood on their knuckles and the warrior of SCENTSY, and we're in the black, but things are thinning? It's I don't want to purchase this. The fuck are you talking about? I just want to have my house smell nice, rather just go online, Google William Sonoma or whatever, and get a big pot and put cloves in there, vanilla beans, and just do it myself and avoid all this nonsense.
Can help them with any need that they may come across. Thirdly, the third most important area is new consultants, and having them join your team. Interestingly, number 3 and number 4, consultant engagement, those are really met and satisfied by the first 2. When you have new people coming in to SCENTSY and they have that first experience of the SCENTSY products, which is incredible. And if you're on this call, I know that you love SCENTSY, you love fragrance. You know that if you can get that fragrance in front of someone, they truly can enjoy that. By following up and having that unique, authentic relationship with those customers, you create those opportunities, those aha moments of, I can do this. I want to partner with SCENTSY, which leads to number 3 and number 4 here.
It's all about recruitment. Dan Orchard, CEO and president of SCENTSY, describes how SCENTSY is a pyramid scheme, because it is all about recruitment. It is about incentivization, how the compensation plan, how the multi-level marketing company incentivizes its participants to behave. The only reason you're after new customer acquisition and customer engagement is to then turn them into recruits into the multi-level marketing company. And he's said it perfectly.
Here in our focus areas.
Big
I will
surprise.
circle back to these 4 focus areas as I go throughout today. And before I talk more about them, I want to kind of explain SCENTSY's responsibility in all of this. When I say SCENTSY and point to myself, I mean home offices. So if I just went through the 4 key areas that we would like you to focus on and we want to support you in the 4 that I just mentioned, let me explain what we are focused on here at the home office as stewards of SCENTSY, the company. We are responsible for ensuring the company is healthy to make sure we can support all of you. We evaluate our products, our programs. We monitor and react to trends and behaviors and changes and make those changes necessary.
You're like, hey, SCENTSY's a pyramid scheme. Oh, we have a Zoom call. Well, okay, what we have to do, there's been contraction. We're doubling down and we need to have this training. And I'm going to tell you the 4 things that you got to do. Are you ready for this? You got to acquire customers and you have to acquire recruits. People's minds are blown. Oh, I've never heard anything like that. You have to acquire customers. You have to engage with those customers, which will then lead you to acquiring, recruiting consultants, and then engaging with them. Mind-blowing training already. Still no numbers.
Necessary to support your team to be successful. And while, like I said, we are profitable and in a good position, we must strengthen our position right now and create an opportunity to build momentum.
Oh my God.
Throughout history, we have learned that together, by living our culture and focusing on these fundamentals, we can overcome really any challenge, anything that comes our way. I mentioned I was going to share some data, so get ready. I hope this is okay. I will be
for all you stupid women. I know it's boring and I know it's numbers, but you know what it's like to have hope in a company. We need to build momentum. I'm a numbers geek. I hope it's okay if I introduce this to you silly little gooses. There's going to be some numbers showing up here. Hang on, we're getting ready for it.
Sharing it in these PowerPoint slides so you can get a taste and a sense of why the 4 areas I just mentioned are the most important for us as a company. So let me first share a couple of numbers that just gives us a common ground to talk from. So the very first one that I want to show you is this. This is a little look into our total number of current consultants.
This is fantastic. You can't make this shit up. So 58% of consultants place an order in a given month. Look at that. Almost like their customers are the distributors. 58% of the consultants are placing an order every month. Now, what can we do to really amp up the momentum and the hope in this company? We got to get that pie chart. We got to shrink that part of all those negative Nelly naysayers that are saying no to buying things because they've actually sat down and calculated, I can't spend this much money anymore. I don't even need this much product. We need to get you to spend more money. This is great. What a treat this training is.
Right now, we have 154,000 current consultants worldwide. 58% of our consultants place an order in any given month. So out of the 100.
Okay, let's do some math. So in all the entire world, SCENTSY has 154,000 consultants. So 58%, that's 89,000 of them are placing an order every month. 89,320.
154,000 consultants, 58% of them will place an order in a given calendar month. Okay, this is just to give you a little reference. Let me keep going and explain this next slide. Of those 154,000 orders, 154,000 consultants, 25% of them place an order of 200 PRV or more. Okay.
So even those people that are spending money and placing an order, it's not enough. It's not sufficient for them to be considered active. 3/4 of the participants, 75% of the 89,000 people who are placing an order each calendar month are inactive. What is inactive? Well, they have to set an arbitrary point value to the products, which is often not dollar for dollar. So it could be Instead of if you spent $10, that's 10 PV or whatever, it's usually off. It's usually less because they always screw over their participants. So they set this arbitrary number that in order to get paid a bigger commission, or to get paid if you have a couple of people beneath you who are also selling products, to get paid on their commission, or to get paid a bigger commission, you need to be active. The only way you can be active is to place an order. Oh, but you could probably cover those orders if you have actual customers. But you don't have customers. And the only reason you don't have customers is, well, you need to go out there and build hope and momentum. And when you do get customers, your whole goal is to move them along the pipeline until they get to point 3 and 4, where then they turn into a consultant. You recruit them eventually, because the best recruits, the best business owners, the best consultants are your customers.
25% place an order in a given calendar month of at least 200 PRV or more. Just some insight, setting the ground and a common ground of understanding of kind of what it's looking like so far at SCENTSY. Let me keep going, because the information I want to share now gives you a little bit of more.
It's like people are running out of money and you've hit market saturation. People can't afford to keep buying stuff that they don't need.
An insight into what trends are happening overall at the macro or the combined level. This first one is a line chart here. This is giving us a look at the average ordering customer, unique customer per consultant for the last 6 years. Averaging ordering customer or unique customer per consultant. So in a given year, if I looked at 2018, the very first year in this, I can see that number is about 17. So in 2018, there were 17, on average, 17 unique customers per consultant ordering in 2018.
Were they actual customers, or were people able to make fake customers and create fake accounts, like happens in so many other multi-level marketing companies too? It's easy enough to do. You get a gift card, a Visa gift card. You just create another account, hit the PRV, and then you can be your active status. They're unique. Oh, they're unique, but are they actually real? They have no way of tracking. They don't know.
In 2024, we know that number has gone from 17 down to 10. Okay, so a lot fewer number of unique customers are ordering through consultants in 2024 compared to 2018.
Well, it looks like the company is dying. It looks like it's on a downward trajectory. What's 2025 look like? This is 2024, but here we're at right now, January 2025. Has that line gone down, or is it still the same?
Okay. Hopefully you're following me so far. I know
this is difficult for all you stupid women. I know. I said I was going to bring the numbers in, but I hope this makes sense. Does this make sense? I've drawn a graph. And I've put up like on the, there's the x-axis and the y-axis, and I've put down the years, and I've put up all the way up the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But it's actually 17. We were at 17 in 2018. Oh, I know those numbers are so similar to each other. But then you can see there was a little bit of a bump, a little bit. Maybe it was a little baby bump for all those baby mamas, those stay-at-home baby mamas out there. And then it's just come down, and now we're at 10. We're only at 10 customers. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense. Does it make sense for all you SCENTSY participants?
I'm going to share a few of these.
Holy fuck, Dan.
Data points, but they're extremely important to paint the picture of what is happening at SCENTSY. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Next one is even more interesting, I think. Average number of new customers per consultant per year has gone from 11 in 2018 to just 4 in 2024.
You're not turning this ship around, Dan. This is the end. This is the end. Oh, SCENTSY's going down too. And it's just a shame, because I know a lot of people, they love their products, but it's not about the products. The products can be really good. They get you in, they keep you in. If it was about the products, the company would open up the floodgates and let people buy the products instead of having all this nonsense that you have to engage with them. You got to get them in a Facebook group. You got to do all this stuff. And then you have to recruit them, because if you drip on them long enough and you like all their Facebook posts and you remember to send them a happy birthday message, maybe 4 years later, they're going to sign up with you. And then you're going to go in your Facebook group and you'd be like, I did it. I recruited someone. I did everything that you told me to. I pretended to really be interested in this person's life for 4 years, and they finally signed up as a consultant, only to realize, oh my God, I've been participating in a cult all this time. Fascinating. Look at this trend line.
Say it one more time, because this is really important. One of the key things, and if you remember, this is the #1 focus area that we need to address. It is new customer acquisition. If I look at 2018, you can see that it is 11 new customers per consultant in 2018. In 2024, happens to be same in 2023, but in 2024, per consultant on average, there were only 4 new customers in 2024. This is big. This is why it is #1. Let me show you a couple of other graphs, because these also help create this picture that I'm trying to do with all of you today. So this next slide here shares with you the average PRV per consultant per year for the last 6 years, just like the previous 2 slides. Average PRV per consultant. In 2018, you can see it's just above 2,000. For the entire year, on average, for all consultants worldwide, just above 2,000.
Using an average PRV, it's just inaccurate. It's too inflated, because you'll have people that are near the top of these scams that are having way more PRV, because that's how these scams work. So it's going to distort the data. But this isn't your fault. If you're in SCENTSY and you're a participant, the onus isn't on you. This industry, which is not an industry, it is fraud. MLM is legalized fraud, is dying. And having a CEO of a company telling you, okay, this is what we have to do, you can't fight like the tide. It's just like gravity. If you hold something up and drop it, it's going to fall. It doesn't matter how many of these trainings that you attend. This is just the reality is opening up. You can't fight against that. You have to accept the reality. And he's not wanting you to accept the reality. He's like, this is what we have to do. We have to do this. Maybe we're going to like will it and manifest it into existence.
You can see the chart in their pandemic years. We spiked up, definitely had an impact there. But if you look at 2024, you can see that we're actually about the same level of average PRV per consultant in a given year as it was in 2018. Interesting. I find it interesting. Okay. This is interesting because as we just reviewed, total unique number of customers ordering through a consultant is going down, and new customers are going down, but PRV per consultant has remained same. They remain the same.
Isn't that fascinating? It's almost like the distributors are the customers, the consultants are the customers.
All right. Another slide. This one is a little bit different. This one is average party order count per consultant per year. Okay. So total number, think of it as the total number of parties given in a single year. In 2018, you can see that it is 5. Right.
There's no point in showing this spike of 2020 to 2021. I mean, this is the thing. The world was shut down. Everybody had to be online. So it's, taking this snapshot of 6 years as if this means anything, it's so distorted. It's like it is an outlier. Nothing had happened like that before. So I'm curious where he's going with this. If you're seeing these graphs and you're seeing things that I'm missing, I know I can be missing a lot. Please feel free to add your comments in the comment section. Share your thoughts. Like, what are these insights? What do you see what would be the purpose of an MLM CEO going through this? Like, aside from manipulation and bamboozlement, is there like other elements? Are there other elements here that I'm missing? I'm failing to comment on. I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Around 5, you can see that it's spiked up through the years. In 2024, that number really has more than doubled since 2018, putting us at about 12. From 5 to 12. Are you following along with this in your head? I'm going to share.
No, I'm not. I don't know what you're trying to get to here, because you said things are thinning. The direct selling model, it's contracting. You're in the black, but not for long. Who knows what's going on? You're trying to set it up like, well, the consultants aren't really spending that much money. 89,000 of them, of the 154,000 globally, apparently are placing one order each calendar, at least one order in a calendar month. But of that 89,000, and it's like 89,320, 75% of them are inactive. So it seems to me like you're trying to get consultants just to spend more money. That's to me what it seems like. So I don't know what you're actually getting to here, because you've set it up like you're in trouble and you're trying to get people to think of hope and momentum, which seems to me the whole point of this is to just to get your consultants to spend more money, buy more products. But you're saying the number one thing is because, boy, we're going to get more eyes on us. Maybe the FTC is going to look at us. If I say the number one thing is customer acquisition, that means we're not operating as a pyramid scheme. But you are operating as a pyramid scheme. Doesn't matter that you say, well, I said in this one video that I want you to recruit or acquire customers. That's not it. It's not your get out of jail free card.
Compare 2 of the slides because we wanted to make more sense of this. And what I did is I put 2 slides together. The average PRV per consultant, that one that remains the same from 6 years ago to today.
This is like Ray. I told you this reminds me of Monet. I was getting the spidey senses. This reminds me of Ray Urdanata with his stupid charts that just don't make any sense. Like, what are you trying to say?
Which is about 2,000 PRV per consultant per year. And if I look at the average number of party orders in count, we know that it has doubled. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, Dan.
Why do you think we have been able to double the number?
This is something that I really can't stand. This is a big pet peeve of mine. I let a lot of things slide. Well, I can get like grouchy and owly about a lot of things, but one thing I just can't stand is when somebody asks you a question and they just expect for you to answer. I hate that. I've hated that ever since I was a kid. Okay, everyone, what is the first color of the rainbow? And then you'll have people saying red. Like, and this is like, what's going on here? I'm just like, oh, stop it.
Number of parties, but yet the average PRV has remained flat. Well, I think that's a very interesting question. We asked leaders this at our...
Did you ask your company? Did you take you ask leaders, you ask people at the top of your pyramid scheme, did you maybe sit down and look at like, have the prices of your products increased? What about shipping? Have you looked at anything else, or are you just like solely placing all of the responsibility and possible solution on the people in the pyramid scheme? You're on the corporate side. You're not, you don't have to rank up each month. You don't have to worry about PRV and these changes. You're like, what is the difference? It's like, I don't know, Dan, you're the CEO and president. You're supposed to be telling us. This is supposed to be an easily duplicatable system. The products sell themselves. Bring them into this community. Follow up with people. Now you're asking me why your numbers on your graphs are doing it. I don't know, Dan. That's above my pay grade. You're the CEO of this company. Maybe you should be telling us. This is backwards.
At our retreat that we are on now, they came up with some good answers. And what it has come down to as we've dug deeper into that is that it's easier to qualify for a party given the higher priced items that SCENTSY has to offer and the variety of products that SCENTSY has to offer. In fact, we have one product that...
You couldn't have pulled up a spreadsheet? You don't have... Do you track what people are actually selling? You couldn't have figured this out yourself with your team? You had to ask people, being like, think and get them to do the work for you for free. I mean, it should be pretty easy to look at like when a party was made and then all the orders that were placed, and you could do be like, oh, by gad, Look at the items here. You couldn't have figured that out on your own? This is just wild.
If you just add that to an order, it qualifies for a party already. So it's easier to qualify for a party with fewer items. The other big thing that we notice is that consultants are choosing to host the parties and combining the orders to qualify for those parties. So as soon as
Oh, okay. I'm getting the feeling here. You need to have more parties and you need to push more expensive products. And you have to combine all the orders so then you can rank up and then you can, and that's the solution. So I wonder where in this that you're getting screwed over, that you have to then ship out the products and like hand them out to each person. They can't just easily order online through your own like duplicated, replicated website. You're going to have a party. They're going to order a lot. You're going to combine the orders so you can rank up. I might be misinterpreting this, but I know you're getting screwed. You're getting the shit end of the stick here. It's just finding out, just waiting for it. I'm like doing the preemptive, like, is this what's happening?
it qualifies, they close the party and they're all set. And as consultants, as host, they're able to maximize their host rewards, which is just fine, to close out those parties. Here's one interesting fact. I don't have a data slide for it, but did you know 70% of all parties have a consultant as the host?
Is that supposed to blow my hair back? I don't know. I mean, that's what we did in Mon 8. You're like the market partner, so you have a party. You have people come over. I give the whole spiel. This is Rejuvenique oil. It has 101 uses. Did you know that the Abyssinian oil is made in PEI? It has sunflower oil, how is it? Saffron oil, whatever. They have all the different oils. Look, you can put it on your skin and it just immediately absorbs. Look at the difference between your two hands. You can put it on your hair, on your scalp. Just wait a few minutes. It won't transfer to your pillow when you go to sleep at night, and it won't get, mess up your pajamas either. In the morning, wash it out. Two shampoos. 70% of the people are hosts are the consultants. I don't know. So you're encouraging people that are customers to behave as consultants? Is that what the model of SCENTSY is? To just, you get them as a customer, but then they're behaving as a consultant already at that early stage, to then get them acquainted and more familiarized, to make it just so seamless to just move into the consultant role?
Other link that I make as I look at this, knowing that the total number of unique customers ordering with a consultant and the total number of new customers coming into SCENTSY has rapidly declined, that we have a problem with getting new people into SCENTSY. We have a problem finding new customers and introducing them to SCENTSY. And part of that is because our systems and our programs have made it simple for a party to qualify. It's also the reason why the number one and key.
The reason why people are having a hard time getting customers is because you've made it too easy for people to qualify. Oh my God, Dan is such a dick brain. Wow. The insulting of all the hard work of SCENTSY participants. The reason why you're having a hard time attracting customers is because people don't want anything to do with multi-level marketing pyramid schemes. And because of guys like this, Dan, the CEO, we've made it too easy to qualify. We're going to make it harder, and that's going to actually improve your customer acquisition. Can't accept responsibility for anything. Look at this. These CEOs, this is the shit that goes on in the background that nobody ever sees. And you see people in the line of fire are the victims, the participants that are like, you can make all this money with SCENTSY. And then it's easy to, make a video and point it out. Well, you can't say that. You can't say that. Where is this coming from? Look at how they're being manipulated by the CEOs, by these companies, This is so gross.
Area is finding new customers. Let me give you an example, and I think this will help hopefully bring this home for you on the importance of bringing in new customers. I wanted to come up with a good example. And at SCENTSY, and definitely for your businesses, there's lots of ways to build at SCENTSY. A lot of people build through parties.
And I just want to say, if there's something in here where I'm like not interpreting it correctly, it's still not okay, because it's not being explained properly. So if, say, you were to bring me in as a rep or a consultant, and I'm going to be watching this is how I'm going to be interpreting it. And if it's not explained properly, that's not my problem. That's Dan's problem. He hasn't made it clear. He's obfuscated. This should have been in an email. This should have been pointed out. This should have been done in less than 5 minutes, this presentation. But he's rambling on. Look at all this, these charts and graphs, infantilizing all the SCENTSY participants.
Whether it's home parties, online parties, virtual parties, basket parties, traveling parties, doesn't matter to me. Those are ways that people have built businesses. Some have done it through social media, some have done it through fairs and shows, et cetera, et cetera. There isn't a wrong way to do it, but there is a right way to maximize your ability to add customers into SCENTSY.
A right way to maximize customers. So how are this magic way that you're supposed to add customers now, making another wrinkle into the already complicated mess that is the SCENTSY compensation plan?
For this example, I'm going to use a party because I think that is the easiest way for me to emphasize the.
So people can't, all right, so people can't just then say, make a post being like, I really like this wax melt and I really like this warmer. I got to attend a training now to find the right way to add a customer. So they're going to be turning away anybody that was even remotely interested in buying it, because you've got to make it more complicated for your participants, only then to turn around and then blame them when it doesn't work.
Important characteristics of a party. So picture this. Picture myself. Let's wipe your mind clean of.
Let's not picture you doing anything, Dan.
SCENTSY. You don't know SCENTSY at all. And I'm going to be the consultant, and I'm going to be at your friend's house who invited you over to have a SCENTSY party. Again, this is an example that helps me illustrate the importance of these characteristics of a party that can be done in many different ways, but easy to explain.
Fucking get to the point, Dan. You could have just said, pretend I'm there at a SCENTSY party. Again, this is done to emphasize the importance of the characteristics. You can eliminate all of that. You highlight it, delete it, edit it out.
Explain in this example. So again, I am the consultant. Hello, I'm Dan. I'm a SCENTSY consultant. You don't know about SCENTSY, but you are at a friend's party, a SCENTSY party. Now, if I am the host and I'm taking over this party, and I stand up and I say, trust me, you have to purchase Luna. It is the best smelling fragrance that we have. And then if I would like to ask you by show of hands, and I did this at the leadership group, and I said, by show of hands, how many of you would have bought a Luna from me, who you probably don't know as a SCENTSY consultant, ask you and tell you it's my favorite fragrance, please buy it. How many would you buy? How many of you would buy it? And there.
Oh, I wonder why SCENTSY sales are tanking with this incredible salesmanship training. Oh my God.
There's a few that raised their hands at leadership. And I'm guessing some of you may buy it as well. But think about this. If I change that scenario, while I may still be the consultant, and it's your friend who's hosting the party, and they tell you that this is the best fragrance SCENTSY has to offer, you have to buy it.
This is your thing. This is how you're going to turn things around. Is it going to be an honest suggestion, or is this going to be helpful business advice to just gently suggest to your friend who's hosting this SCENTSY party? Tell them it's Luna. SCENTSY has like an overstock of Luna. Tell them how much you love it. Okay, trust anybody that says trust me anyway, even if they're somebody that I do trust, as soon as they say trust me, I don't trust them, because you don't need to say trust me. When somebody says trust me, it's like saying I promise. Already on sketchy ground. You're up to something. You're up to no good when you have to say those things. I don't want to trust you. I want to make my own decision, because what you like what might smell really nice isn't something that I might like. I don't want you to force your opinion on me just because it's like, trust me. It's like you're trying to make me do something. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to be told what to buy just because it's like, trust me. Trust me is aggressive. Trust me is off-putting. Trust me, this is what you need to do. And then it's like, you're going to be offended because I say no. It's gross. You know, this is his big train. This is his big aha moment. And I bet you consultants, they were already doing this anyway. So this is his big idea. He's never done this at all, probably ever. He's never sold anything. He's just the CEO, and he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to tell all these women, this is going to turn around our business. Meanwhile, the trend line is going down like this.
How many more of you would buy it from a friend rather than an unknown SCENTSY consultant? Many, many more.
Holy shit, Dan. Are you just figuring out that this is something called multi-level marketing? This is literally what everybody does. I'd help launch a Mod 8 market partner. I would be there like to help support them, but it was their connections, their friends and family that they would be selling to. That's the whole point of this thing.
Just one example of emphasizing the importance of having a host or a non-consultant host or a non-consultant person that is able to introduce SCENTSY to their friends and their contacts. Because not only is it a built-in trust with that person.
Exploit the trust of the people at the party and use their contacts to sell more. This is when you're added to all those Facebook groups. Julie's SCENTSY party, Julie's revolutionary New Year's resolution 2025 SCENTSY party. You're like, who the hell added me to this group? And then every day there's like these posts. Check out this warmer. This is a really easy way to replace your SCENTSY warmer light bulb. And try this like easy hack to like chip out the melted wax and then to replace it with a new one. And you're like, who added me to this group? And then if you refer 5 people, you can get a free doom-a-jiggy thingamabopper. That's what's going on here with SCENTSY. It's like, oh, and then add 5 friends, just comment and like a post, and then you could host a party and you're going to really help me out. And I just am after your contacts so I can maybe sell to them. It's just never ending. And he's talking like this is something new. This is what all these companies do. Pampered Chef is similar.
But it also opens up the opportunity for that non-consultant to introduce friends and contacts to you as the consultant. It's an incredible relationship. And as you amplify your efforts through others, whether it's a party, whether it's social media or other ways, when you use those key critical tools that you're able to
What's a key critical tool, Dan? He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. This is when they just fluffed out the words to like maybe catch the train of thought wherever it was, like it just blanked out. It was the train track was like this, there was just a gap. And then Dan's like, and then he lands back over here. What's key critical? You're having a party. You go with somebody who's not a consultant. I don't even know anything about SCENTSY and I can piece this together. I could explain it better to their consultants than you could. I just have to like shorten it up, not swear as much, and it'd probably help them out more than what you're doing. I should actually do that for one of these videos one day. Just do a training on summarizing what these CEOs say and just condense it and make it better. I should do that.
Amplify your efforts through others. You'll be able to increase your sales and referrals.
Synthesize that. There's another, it's like, I meant summarize it. Did I say summarize or did I say synthesize? Oh, well.
You're able to look more long-term than short-term and really key in on what's most important, especially right now, is bringing new customers into SCENTSY. Okay, let me keep going. There was a quote that I came across from one of our leaders that I really enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long one. It's on your slide right now, but there was two areas that I wanted to kind of point out.
Oh my God, this isn't a quote. This is a ramble.
This is from a leader that has made it to the very top of our compensation plan and entitled to superstar director. And as she was thinking and reflecting,
Is that really what it's called in SCENTSY? Superstar? Is that right? Oh, yeah. Superstar director. It's like kids playing business, isn't it?
on her SCENTSY business, she was thinking, what was it that I did? What was it that made SCENTSY take off for me? The third paragraph down is what I really enjoyed it. She said, it simply came down to one thing. I partied. I partied, then booked parties off those parties, then booked parties off those parties.
She outworked you all. Oh, that's what I did. It's the same thing in Monet. We had parties, online parties, in-person parties. It's the same shit. This is not anything new. But this is what differentiated me. See, people that get to the top, they really do believe that there's something special and different about them. They will say in their testimonials, I am just like you. I didn't know what I was doing. I was ignorance on fire. But it came down to one thing. I partied. I partied off those parties and I just kept working away. And you can do it too. And then you get in there and they're like, well, how many parties have you had? I worked harder than you're doing right now. I can tell. They will try, they're two-faced. They'll say anybody can do this. And then less than a fraction of a percent actually do because it's a scam. And because they're benefiting from the scam, they have to justify why they're benefiting from the scam, that they must be a better person than you. They vibrate at a higher frequency. They've done more personal development. They did more parties. They're not doing anything differently than you. They're not a better person. You're in a scam. You're just in a pyramid scheme. This could be Monet right now, you know?
I met people. I didn't ask people to party. I asked them if they wanted to try and get their SCENTSY free and half off. Then I built relationships and took really good care of each customer. That was one piece. I thought it was such a good insight.
I bet you did, Dan.
Another piece is halfway down the next paragraph. She said this, we have to get into our cold market again. We have to meet new people. We have got to get ourselves back into the rhythm of getting people free and half off SCENTSY and teaching our teams and groups to do the same.
Wow, every multi-level marketing company. Well, I have a script for you, Dan. You could just start sending out mass cold prospecting messages to people. And here's the thing, when somebody receives an unsolicited message, they're already going to be a bit annoyed. So you want to call out the discomfort, call out in the elephant in the room and say, hey, Dan, I know we don't know each other. Therefore, it's going to put them at ease immediately. Hey, Dan, I know we don't know each other, but I see you live in Tucson. I always like to use Tucson as an example. I see you live in Sacramento. I see you live in wherever. I'm just curious. I have a wax melt business that you could get free wax things off. Would you be open to taking a look at what I do to earn extra money part-time online? If not, no big deal. And just fire those out. You got to start reaching out to cold market. That means harassing and sending out spam, unsolicited messages across social media. Or you start patrolling the aisles at your grocery store, at Target, or at Home Depot, bothering people. You're going to be escorted out. You can't even use social media just to market your stuff because it's saturated. Nobody wants anything to do with it. It's too much. It's too gross. So people are all going to be, this is a time to relaunch your business. I wonder if he's going to say relaunch your business. I'm sure they will, because all MLMs are the same. So this is it. This is the big 1 hour and 14-minute video that he's doing.
Such great insight into what she shared in kind of reflecting back. Today, the world has changed. The pandemic escalated even more so personal website orders. It escalated even the impact of social media. And while it has not left behind the party, there are more opportunities for you to use, but it is to get to our cold market, to meet new people, to introduce SCENTSY that have never.
Take SCENTSY out and just think of this as cult recruitment. If you are able to do that as a SCENTSY participant, this might be too fresh, it might be too new for you. But if you've been in another multi-level marketing company, maybe you're on your way out, it's just wild to, if you just take out the name of the product, they could be describing any cult trying to go out and recruit you. Get to your cold market. You don't own a cold market. That's why it's called the cold market. It's people that you don't know. You have a warm market. They say you have a hot market. That's what we were taught. Your hot market are people that will do anything that you say because they believe in you, they trust you until you recruit them into a pyramid scheme. Then you have a warm market, people that just, they're not going to do exactly as they're told. You have the cold market, that's strangers. Oh, anyway.
Never heard of it before. And that's what we wanted to
Oh, yeah, but think of it as a cult. They're going out there to recruit you.
Focus on. We also asked, as we were doing this research and data mining and finding out what it is that is most important and what our top consultants, our top performing consultants are doing, they came up with these other 4 characteristics that they focused on. This one, the first one, was the same one that we've already covered: non-consultant party hosts.
This is interesting to me. They're really encouraging their customers to behave like consultants from the beginning and just exploit and use their relationships with other people, their contacts, just because of that connection. People are more easily manipulated than we would like to admit. So I've spoken about this before. You could just see a friend request come in on Facebook, if you're still on Facebook, and you see a mutual friend and you think, without even thinking, without even questioning, you could see your mutual friend and you think, oh, this person must be safe. You accept the friend request when it could just be the connection of a SCENTSY participant or a multi-level marketing participant or somebody like is in crypto or some other scam that is just going through that link of that mutual friend that agreed to like host a party, and they're going to go and they're going to send a friend request to every single person, all of their friends, and then target them and see if they're open to having a party or buying SCENTSY. It's the same stuff. So now they're going to ask the leaders what they've done. I mean, we could be watching any MLM presentation right now. Just happens to be SCENTSY.
Don't get hung up on party. It's really get-togethers. It's partnering with SCENTSY. It's finding non-consultant customers and friends that you're able to expand your SCENTSY business with.
It's not your business. They're not purchasing a business. They don't need to purchase a business license in their communities because they are contractors. So this is deceptive as well. And I hope with the FTC's new public comment that they're opening up, that's going to factor in with companies like SCENTSY. You have to quit using the term business opportunity in business when your contractors, they're contractors, not business owners. That could be one thing everybody could write to the FTC about.
Number 2, leverage the host rewards program. This, just to give you a little bit more insight, think of it this way. Yes, you should maximize your host rewards, no doubt, no question. But be deliberate about how you use those host rewards and giving that back to the host by helping other new customers experience new products and introduce them to new categories. But be deliberate about it to support the end goal in mind, which is to support your customers and new customers coming in.
Wow, did you catch that? I think that was making things unnecessarily complicated. And putting any kind of, if you're not recruiting a lot of consultants or getting customer acquisition, is just because somebody hosted a party and they get a doomahickey for free. And it's like, oh, you got to be deliberate in who you give it to. Is that what he's talking about? I mean, can somebody translate this? Because this is just unnecessarily complicated. Wow.
A couple of other options that I know our top recruiters do. They build genuine relationships.
Oh yeah, genuine relationships. Ask the people who have left SCENTSY what these uplines are talking about and how they're talking shit about them and have cut them out. All those genuine relationships. Oh, it's a genuine relationship when they're profiting off you and profiting off the customers. As soon as you stop buying, oh, I guess that relationship wasn't so genuine after all. It was purely transactional.
So much so that I remember a consultant, we even interviewed some of the consultant customers just to find out what are they doing that makes it so unique. We had one of the
consultant customers. This is going to be such a long video. Well, whoever likes long content, this is going to be a doozy for you too.
customers respond with, they provide so much care and support that they know our birthdays of the family. They know what we're going through. They know and follow up and are more of a friend than sometimes family are. And
see how disturbing this is? You know everything about them because you're basically stalking them. And all it is just to get them to buy more SCENTSY products and ultimately move them up the steps to become a consultant. You know them better than their family does. Even for him to say that is disgusting.
That if there's anything that I can do to support them, and
it's not real. This isn't salesmanship. This isn't good sales. This is cult recruitment. To even draw that comparison, I know you and care about you more than your own family does. Thank goodness I'm your friendly neighborhood SCENTSY rep. This is disturbing. It's never about just these products. It's always about this shit going on. I don't want somebody I'm buying my wax melts from to follow me that closely. Nope.
Their business, I'll do it. Talk about taking it back to the next level. Okay, number 4, using customer data strategically. Really quickly, this is something that as we enter in and focus on entering in customer data, we're able to enable you on following up with them, knowing how to tag and say, these are our Disney fanatics, or they just love Harry Potter collection. So anytime we come up with Harry Potter, we're able to go look at the data. And
well, it's easy to do if you only have 4 customers. I have this myriad number of customers they got to weave through and have this collection. It's like, oh, Harry Potter. It's like you know them because it's probably your sister, your aunt, your mom, and a fake account you created to order. So then you can be the 25% who are active to get paid the 25% commission now. You have to use the customer data strategically. I don't think this is a problem for most of the people involved in SCENTSY.
As the customer information is entered correctly, then you're able to follow up appropriately. Those were just 4 other areas that I know that we focused on and gathered from our top selling and recruiting consultants on what does well. Okay, let me take a breath here. I know that, and I keep saying it, but parties are important, but so are fairs and shows. So are our efforts on online and social media and other ways that you are building your business. Finding new customers,
oh my God,
is the solid connecting tissue that is critical to all of our success. And perhaps we forgot to do this during the pandemic, because during the pandemic, we would post online and customers came flocking and we could sell it so easily. But we do.
I've just about had it with this guy and we're not even halfway through. I'm going to have to get another coffee. I might have to eat some cheese here. I need to take a bathroom break and that's what I'm going to do. Maybe you should too. We've sat through this much. Let's take a little. I know these long videos just irritate the dude bros. Oh my God. Every once in a while I get a spate of comments from some guy in a multi-level marketing company telling me how much, he doesn't appreciate my lengthier videos. This is also for you. Why are you watching? Anyway, okay, here we go. Back to SCENTSY.
You need to get back to expanding SCENTSY and expanding that customer base. And how are we going to do this? Yes, we need to show you how. Show your teams how. Yes, we need to train you how. Yes, train your teams how. But also very important is this is the singularity. This is the aligned approach that
this is the singularity. There's the God particle and then the singularity. Do you ever remember Transcendent Cat? It's just sitting there. Somebody puts a flower petal on its head and it's it goes back to the origins of time. you know, like a baby crying, and then like you see a seed sprouting. It's like the black hole, and then there's like the singularity. You're going through this time tunnel, woof, 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 like light speed. All the lights are flying. You're going back in time. There's dinosaurs. There's the Big Bang. It's all happening, and then it's like, woof, and then it says SCENTSY. And out of SCENTSY comes a lobster riding on a wave. And all the MLMs, they're all in there in one big singularity.
We all are going to jump on board with, that we are focusing on during this Zoom call, talking about the upcoming changes that I'm getting to here very, very soon, as well as World Tour that is only just a few weeks away. And as we set that up and get that rhythm and drumbeat, I know that the tide will rise and all.
This was a really weird place for me to pause it, because it's like I came back and I'm, you know, feel a bit more jazzed up, but I think Dan did too. He's beating the drum. He's mixing up all kinds of metaphors now. The singularity, beating the drum, getting into the rhythm. Oh.
All consultants will benefit from it. Now it's at World Tour, not to give you any teasers or sneak peeks. I do know one thing. We're going to be introducing a new tool, a simple tool at World Tour to help you and your team members invite new people to experience SCENTSY.
Wow, is it going to be an app? Is it going to be so revolutionary? It's going to be another big waste of money that all these participants that are going to be like trying to get out of the 75% that are inactive to move over the 25% that are active. You're going to invest it to do something that's completely useless, because more and more people are just avoiding multi-level marketing companies altogether. How is it going to be easier? How can you make it easier for somebody to ask somebody to take a look at your SCENTSY opportunity or your wax melt? There's no other way. You have to have human connection at some point. You need to ask, or somebody needs to click on something to engage. Oh my God.
See more to come on that in just a few weeks from now. At Leadership, we recommended a book.
Oh no.
You can see it here on the slide. It's called Renewal for Field Leaders. It's a book written by Brett Blake, happens to be a friend of SCENTSY.
Oh, I wonder if he's getting a cut. He's got a book written for network marketers. Oh, I bet it's a read. If it's anything like that, I wonder what this book is like. Immediately I'm thinking of, is it Time and Money Freedom? Vibrational Money Immersion if you're an ex-rank maker. That was a classic work of art. Classic piece of literature. I bet you this one is similar. Renewal for Field Leaders.
But it is a great book to help us understand what characteristics needs to exist.
You have no moral compass. That's why there's a compass on here. It's like you don't have a moral compass. You eject it when you're in MLM.
For a renewal or a turnaround. I talked earlier and shared numbers about what's happening with SCENTSY and new customers, and how party order count is doubling, but we're not seeing that increase in new customers. And this book goes over and introduces these important concepts. I'm going to share a video with you now that will introduce you to what that book.
Oh my God. So these participants are going to have to buy this book from this guy now? Who the hell is this guy? We're about to see a new player. Maybe if you've been in SCENTSY, you've seen this guy before. This is new to me.
And the themes are to make sure we have a similar foundation that we can speak to.
Every direct selling company follows a predictable life cycle. Launch, hypergrowth, growth by promotion, shakeout, and finally, decline or renewal.
It's just decline. It's not renewal. Also called pop and drop. Every MLM follows this because they're all pyramid schemes. Fortunately, my name is Brett Blake, and I'm here to describe to you how you can just get into momentum and hope with my new book.
In Renewal for Field Leaders, author Brett Blake reveals how to navigate this journey successfully using the Chisel system, a powerful framework for regaining momentum. Let's break down
Oh no, iron sharpens iron.
component of Chisel and understand why it matters for your business. First is cash, the lifeblood of any business. Smart field leaders recognize that careful cash management, even when it means cuts in products and programs, is a sign of good leadership. Remember, corrections after growth are normal and healthy. Hope comes next.
Oh, so if we have to make changes to the compensation plan where you suffer, that's, you know, you've got good leadership. They actually have your back. Next is hope. You're brainwashed. You're not thinking critically. You just have to have hope. Chisel. Wow, this is really stupid.
It's what drives your teams forward. Your team needs to believe that your company is their vehicle to success, not just today, but for years to come. As a field leader, nurturing this hope is one of your most crucial responsibilities.
I thought of something last night. Products are the vehicle to get money up the pyramid scheme. You know, when you're in multi-level marketing and they say, this is a vehicle to financial freedom. And then people get hung up. They're like, yeah, but our company sells products, therefore it can't be a pyramid scheme. They haven't yet made that connection. It's called a product-based pyramid scheme. The product, you put your money in there and it drives up to the top of the pyramid scheme, like putting all the money up all the way up, and you're left with hardly anything until you might have some people underneath you and they put their money in their little vehicles and it drives up to you too. I thought that might be a helpful
As Blake
example.
notes, field sales representatives need to have hope that the company is the vehicle that will allow them to reach their dreams. And that means it will be around and in demand years from now. Innovation isn't just about new products. True renewal often comes from fresh approaches to rewards,
Who uses a Rubik's Cube nowadays?
compensation, creative customer and consultant acquisition strategies, and embracing new technology. Think beyond the product line. Simplification.
To what? What is a SCENTSY participant that has spent $3,000 on wax melt supposed to be thinking about innovation? Coming to the realization that they don't need that much wax melts. And like, why have I spent so much money? How is this supposed to help them with their SCENTSY business? This doesn't make any sense. It's another book that's going to do nothing. And it's going to be one of the ones that SCENTSY participants, as they wake up in the years to come, just like I did, gather all my books, put it in a garbage bag, and throw it out. I should have actually burned them. I should have had a bonfire. Man, if I could go back in time, I would do that. But I wanted that stuff out of my house when the full realization hit me of what I'd been a part of. I wanted that stuff out, you know. This will be hitting the garbage can too.
Simplification means creating predictability and eliminating unnecessary complexity. Ask yourself, what can we stop doing?
Attending these unnecessary Zoom calls with Dan.
Remember, it's not about doing less. It's about reducing surprises and making success more repeatable. Expansion doesn't always mean new territories. Look deeper into your existing markets. Find untapped demographics. Build robust systems that anyone can plug into. Because great systems scale faster than great people.
Oh my God. It's the same shit. It's been going on since Amway. They just keep writing a new book. Oh, this is good.
Finally, leadership ties it all together. Be present. Listen actively. Stay honest and hopeful. Help your team see the bigger picture, especially during challenging times. The path to renewal isn't about dramatic transformations. It's about methodical improvement across these 6 areas. Start with cash and hope.
Can you imagine? Somebody's actually written this book and it's like, they always have to make some kind of acronym, right? And it's like the first one is cash. This could be also another sitcom, you know? I mean, how can anybody take you seriously here? Cash and then hope. This is so stupid.
As your fuel. Then let innovation, simplification, expansion, and leadership drive your journey forward. Ready to lead your team through renewal? Remember, chisel your way to success, one element at a time.
So we were talking about with our leaders, we wanted to make sure that there was a good place where we could build from. And this book by Brett Blake, I recommend it. It's called Renewal for Field Leaders. And it helps
You're telling your solution is for all of your participants to buy the book? Are you going to have a link show up, an affiliate link for you to make money off them? This is pathetic.
Come from a common ground. In there, it went through an acronym called Chisel, or CHISEL. There happens to be one for a home office as well, as this
Chisel. Capybara should be the first one.
one is for field leaders. I'm not going to spend all the time focused on all of these acronyms, but there are 3 of them that are really important as we kind of go into the changes that SCENTSY just announced. The 3 letters that I wanted to focus on is C, cash, or SCENTSY, it feels like
Big surprise.
the right way to say is cash management. And if I looked at that and really applied it to SCENTSY Home Office, I would say that would be our stewardship of the financial health or resources that SCENTSY has to offer to provide fuel to support you and your businesses. This is our responsibility and the drivers of the overall business. Okay.
Oh my God, Dan.
Hope. H.
What have you taught in this training at all, except people are losing customers? SCENTSY's getting near the red instead of being in the black. You've done nothing to help people except tell them to buy this book. And now you're going to go through Chisel. It just, the stupidity of these MLMs, it just never ceases to amaze me. And I was sucked into this. I could have been in SCENTSY. I just happened to be in Mon 8 and Rank Makers. It's always so stupid. And you just shake your head. I'm like, how was I involved in this for 5 years? Taking this in like this was such amazing wisdom.
Is the second letter that I would focus on. Hope. This one is your fuel for your teams. It is your responsibility as leaders, as sponsors, but also as individuals to have that hope. And you get that from either your upline or your upline director or your star director, superstar director, really to help your teams grow.
Don't you know who I am? I'm a superstar director. How dare you talk to me that way? I'm a superstar director. Superstar director versus Zoolander doing Blue Steel. Who would win? A third person comes in and it's Lobster Wave. Who wins? Lobster Wave, superstar director, or Zoolander? Zoolander is going to win every time. It's not a fair question for me to put that up. I'll think of another opponent.
Grow and thrive. Really to help yourself internally to think, okay, this is what SCENTSY is all about, and we're excited about the future. And you can lean on others to help you with this letter. The third letter is S for simplification. Now this one, of course, SCENTSY, value of SCENTSY is simplicity. For this book and the use of S for simplification, it means creating predictability.
He's taking too long of a time to explain what the word simple means. Just sit on that. Marinate on that for a moment, if you will.
And eliminating unnecessary complexity. You would ask yourself,
why am I watching this video right now? You would ask yourself, why is Dan, the CEO and president of SCENTSY, making it unnecessarily complex to explain the term simplification?
And make sure that you knew that simplification is not about doing less. It's about reducing surprises and making success more repeatable. Who does this apply to? It really applies to both you as a consultant and us at the home office, making sure that we are simply understandable,
simply the best,
not complex, and not wasting efforts on things that aren't making a big difference to our business. Okay, let me move on. So if that was kind of that foundational piece to help explain a little bit about where we're going to be coming from and the important characteristics for a renewal or a turnaround, then it gets back to are 4 areas that are going to be the building blocks of momentum and of hope. New customer acquisition, customer engagement, new consultant acquisition, and consultant engagement. Given that this is not currently happening at a level that can sustain us today, we know that we need to make some changes.
But we're doubling down. We're doubling down.
If we do not, it is very unlikely that our trajectory and our path doesn't change. It is unlikely that nothing else is going to happen. And that cause and gives us reason to change. In terms of renewal, our changes are going to focus on the areas that I mentioned in those 3 areas of cash management, our responsibility and stewardship, building hope, and have an emphasis on simplicity.
How many times do you need to say this? We got it the first time. The video was condensed. We got it. We figured it out. Cash, hope, innovation, Chisel, CHIS, simplification, E, who the fuck knows and who cares, and L is leadership. You don't need, then he writes it over again. And he's like, oh, cash, it's cash management. Now this is the 3rd time. This is so brutal. This to me, it's like, you're going through, I mean, this was never a riveting presentation, but it reminds me of, you're binge watching something on Netflix and you get through the 1st season, the 2nd season, and then you're in the 3rd season. It kind of starts to tank. Somebody does the trend line like this. You can tell something was going on. The writers weren't getting paid. There was something off. Somebody was interfering. Like, well, we want to put this actor in and just totally screw up the whole storyline or the plot. You're like, why'd you have to do this? And then you got to wait like another season and then it starts to come back. I feel like we're in that dead zone right now where Dan's just going on. Like at least make himself a little bit bigger like he did at the beginning where he's like, whoosh, he just came in from the corner and it was just like Big Dan. But now it's just little Dan, big purple Sensei, and he's just, it's Chisel.
Or I guess in the book's terms, simplification. We're going to go through these changes now.
Thank God.
And I know that we already introduced them in a communications on the news tab, but this gives me an opportunity to be able to share with you
even more of my thoughts, which are mundane and like way too verbose.
A little bit more insight onto the reasons why. I'll start off with our product discontinuances. There are a few. The first one are car bars going away globally. The second one is travel twists going away globally. And the third one are the SCENTSY body products going away.
So 43 minutes into his presentation, he actually is giving you, okay, these are 3 products that are no longer going to be available. Car bars, travel twist, SCENTSY body. Could this not have been at the beginning of the video for these poor participants?
Only in Europe and in Australia and New Zealand. Now, let me speak to these 3 product lines or categories for a second. During a downturn or a contraction, not all product lines are created equal. Some of them are resilient.
Oh my God, Dan. I mean, we figure it out. Products are discontinued all the time. We don't need you now to pontificate and expound on the philosophy of why a product might be discontinued globally and why it won't be discontinued globally for another one. Oh, here we go. Now we're going to hear him talk about why they're discontinuing car bars. Can you imagine this guy at this leadership thing? Everybody's sticking a fork in their eye trying to wake themselves up. Okay, everyone, here's an amazing training from Dan, the CEO. They're like, oh, this is so crazy. I'm so happy and grateful. I have like a video of me doing this. It's like, hi, everyone. I'm so excited. I qualified last year and here I am. I manifested it. It's 2025. I'm here and Dan is about to give this amazing training. And then they're sitting there and they forget their phone is on. They have it leaned up and you just see your upline take a fork and she's just like a Stepford wife. She's just trying to like get herself to life after Dan starts talking. Oh my God.
Brilliant to what's happening in the market. Again, sometimes it's outside factors, sometimes it's inside factors. But what is happening is a contraction of
sometimes it's a coenzyme factor.
cells. And some product lines do incredibly well. A good example of this is our SCENTSY bars. Our SCENTSY bars continue to hold despite the decreases in total sales as a company. Other categories don't fare.
I can really see you're focusing on the core value of simplicity in this presentation, especially as you're explaining what 3 products are being discontinued. I can see you're really focusing on making it as simple as possible to understand.
As well. And these are 3 of them. Car bars have declined. Travel twists have declined.
Spit it out, Dan. Spit it out.
Actually, since our introduction of that product line. And for SCENTSY Body in Region 2 and Region 3, or Australia, New Zealand, and Europe, I can tell you that that line, while decreasing each season, is now down to less than 2% of total sales in Europe and Australia. So those product lines make it where they are not adding value. And in fact, I would even go as far to say that these product lines that are going or declining faster than our own sales can have a negative brand or fragrance experience for you and for your customers. This is why these products are going away. Next on the product line, this is going to be introduced in a communication next week.
Will it be an hour and 14 Zoom call, or would it be in an email, or will it be on the news tab, or perhaps all 3?
I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. I don't think I've communicated this out yet, but I am for today because it's important to understand when I get to bundles and saves. But we are simplifying the naming convention of our fan diffusers. So the products I'm talking about are the air purifier. I'm talking about the tabletop diffuser. I'm talking about wall fan diffusers. Those products, we are going to combine all products that use a pod to have the same category name of SCENTSY Air. So let me give you a few examples. First of all, SCENTSY Air Purifier.
Dan, we get it. I think I have a firm grasp of this. Diffusers, you know, the shit that's going to be on the table having anything to do with air, it's just SCENTSY Air. You don't need to explain this. We've got it. Oh my God. He loves just talking and talking.
Already fits the naming convention. We're keeping the same name for that. No change for SCENTSY Air Purifier. SCENTSY Air, the new product that we just introduced at Reunion, the one that contains all 4 pods, right? 4 pods at once. That one is currently called SCENTSY Air. On March 1st, it's going to be called SCENTSY Air Quad. Okay? Our tabletop fan diffuser, the one that you can put in either 2 or 1 SCENTSY pod, that tabletop fan diffuser is changing to the name of SCENTSY Air. Okay. Next one is the wall fan diffuser.
I feel so sorry for these SCENTSY participants. What you've had to put up with over the years, you got my respect. This is nuts.
Wall fan diffuser, we're dropping that name. We're going to match the warmer naming convention, and it's going to be called the SCENTSY Air Mini. Okay. SCENTSY Go or SCENTSY Go Black, you know this product, also takes pods. This one's going to be called SCENTSY Air Go. SCENTSY Air Go. Yes, it's that fun to say. You have to try it. SCENTSY Air Go. And then lastly, okay, we have the mini fan diffuser. We're dropping that, adding SCENTSY Air. This mini fan diffuser is going to be called SCENTSY Air Solo. Okay, so be important when I get to the bundle and saves that I want to speak to you. So these are all going to be under the same category of SCENTSY Air. Okay.
Okay, right. We got it. All right.
Let me keep moving here. Let me now speak to bundles and saves. Bundles and saves have been an important part of who SCENTSY is and being able to give discounts. We are going to be hitting on the simplification portion and financial help. as we evolve and modernize our bundle and save category. As mentioned in the communications, beginning March 1st, we are changing our approach by having a simplified 10% discount across all product lines. The 10%.
Is it applicable to people that are a retail customer, or do those not exist?
Language and discount is straightforward. It's simple. We know through research, we know that simple
I don't believe you, Dan.
messages and discounts are shown to increase purchase rates because they are easier to understand. Over the years, our bundle and saves, and if you've been with SCENTSY a little bit of time or even just beginning, has been limited by the product pricing we have on warmers and the complexity of those combinations. Fewer and fewer customers were able to apply the bundle and saves because of how the bundle and saves work today. If you don't know what I mean, let me give you a little look at what how it displays in the
yeah, thank you. Dan's going to simplify for us. There we go. You can count on Dan.
Catalog. This is what it looks like today. You can see that we have warmers.
I can see this is part of the Chisel model, the simplification. Oh, it's already applied here. Fantastic.
Under the SCENTSY system and Perfect SCENTSY, they start at $25 and have certain number of bars and go up to 50 at $5 increments in the US.
I look at that and you know what immediately comes to mind? Fuck no.
Currency. These categories create complexity in explanation to customers, as well as training to new consultants. The new discount structure dramatically simplifies the setup and provides far more flexibility into the future of what we can do with our.
Welcome to SCENTSY. We will overcomplicate things and bore you to death while we do it.
Bundles and saves.
But your house will smell nice.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take the bundle and save look that is pictured here and change it to our new bundle and save page that is pictured here.
Now we're just getting rid of it's all pictures. So just to make it easier for you is 2 little hearts on 2 little bags. And then you've got the warmer, and then you've got another diffuser, and then you've got more, and there's like a +6 and a +3. It's a +2. It's like a game. And then little gold coins are falling down, and you're going to rank up to the top and be a superstar director. Is this so simple? You can see how they've made a lot of work to do the chiseling, to be the simplification. The bundle and save from fall and winter 2024 to spring and summer 2025. Dan has come through.
You can see that the categories have changed. We've made it much more simple and easier to understand. Let me go into this a little bit deeper because it's important. Let me first start off by saying, by now you probably have not seen that we have a buy 5, get 1 free SCENTSY bar bundle.
By now, you probably have not seen. What is going on at SCENTSY? By now, you probably haven't seen. You can't make this up.
That bundle and that singular bundle has been a cornerstone of our SCENTSY bundle and save program from the beginning. Buy 5, get 1 free. While it's not in the catalog and it's not offered in the PWS, it is going to be offered as a consultant-only workstation bundle and save, like a secret menu. You're going to be able to offer it to your customers, creating relationships with you and being able to provide that deeper discount for the buy 5, get 1 bar.
This isn't simple, Dan. This is complicated. Why is it a secret if it's so easy? People aren't even they're already falling asleep to this training. Oh, this is possibly the most boring training from a CEO I've ever seen. Maybe it'll pick up in the last 25% of this. We're approaching the 25% of this video that's active.
But it will not be in your personal website, only offered in the workstation.
I know it just drives them nuts too. And they're like, how can these people spend so much time just criticizing these MLMs? They have nothing better to do with their day. We just still keep pumping out the content, laser focused. Like, you could be walking through Jurassic Park and dinosaurs to the right of you and dinosaurs to the left, and you just keep making the content. Nothing seems to deter these anti-MLM advocates.
Now, you may need to know how to use it, because if you don't use the product code of buy 5, get 1 free, then it won't apply the free bar. So just like you do today, as you know, in your workstation, as you place an order, an individual order or a party order, you type in the product code for the buy 5, get 1 free SCENTSY bar. Enter that in, enter in the 6 bars, and you will get that discount of buy 5, get 1 free. Okay, this is unique and only available through you as the consultant.
Did you catch that?
And you're able to offer that as far as a discount, because while it's not printed in the catalog, it is something from home office pricing that you can share with others.
So it's not printed in the catalog, and it's making it unnecessarily complicated. I thought it's being simplifying things is like reducing surprises. Surprise! There's something that you don't know about. Can't even get through this presentation because it's so boring. Your mind just checks out. None of it makes sense anymore. He just keeps droning on.
Not being a personal special, but something that only you as a consultant can offer to your customers. Okay, follow me so far?
No.
Let me keep going. Okay, other things that are happening. So I mentioned the buy 5, get 1 free in SCENTSY bars. That's going to continue, again, only on the workstation, not your PWS, and not
it's the POS, but not the PWS.
In the catalog.
This presentation is a POS.
We're going to have a pick 6, save 10%. You know what products this applies to. This will be room sprays. It will be SCENTSY bars. It will be scent packs. It will be SCENTSY oils. And it will be on scent pods. Okay, the twin packs. So on all of those products, as you buy increments of 6, you can get a 10% discount on those. No, you can't cross and choose one of these and 2 of those different product lines. It's got to be together. So it's 6 SCENTSY bars, 6 room sprays, 6.
Oh, well, that's not that's not an incentive then. Pick 6 of exactly one product category to save 10%. That's not attractive.
Scent packs or 6 oils or 6 scent pods, and each increment of 6 will save 10%. Okay, there are 2 products that aren't 6. They are fragrance flowers. When you buy 3 of the fragrance flowers, you save.
My eyes are rolling back in my head, and it's not from pleasure watching this video. I'll tell you that right now.
10%.
Oh my God.
And if you buy 2 Scent Circle 3 packs, you will save 10%. Okay, you're following me so far.
No.
The 4th area that I wanted to talk about: Laundry Love, Classic Clean, and more.
Pure Romance enters the chat. Moisture Medley. Thought SCENTSY was just about wax pucks, Disney figurines. Oh ho ho, we've got Laundry Love, Classic Clean, and Moisture Medley. We thought we'd dip our toe into the self-pleasure category. The hell's going on with SCENTSY? Moisture Medley. Who came up with that name? And what the hell is that product about?
Moisture Medley will also continue on into the new catalog that starts.
Moisture Medley made the cut, everyone. I can't even believe it. I knew it was going to pick up. We finally, we got through the dead season 3, and now we're picking up into the things again. Here we go. Moisture Medley made it.
It's the 1st of March. And you will also, from those product bundle and save names, will be able to save 10% as well. So as a customer, enters in the items that qualify for lot.
What is moisture medley? Is it adding moisture to what? What problem does moisture medley provide the solution to? SCENTSY, you need to stop. Oh my God.
Laundry Love Classic Clean or Moisture Medley, they will automatically get the 10% off. Okay, all right. Let me keep.
Can you imagine buying a product called Moisture Medley? Oh, my Moisture Medley came in.
Keep going. SCENTSY systems and perfect SCENTSY systems will be discontinued. The new simplified bundles options will be offered at 10%. The first one displays on the screen. It's a warmer and 6 bars. It does exclude licensing warmers and bars. It does apply.
Oh, a big surprise. So anybody that wants Harry Potter or Disney, they're out of luck.
To all SCENTSY warmers and all
They're SOL with this POS presentation.
SCENTSY bars, just not the licensed products. What do I mean by all? Well, let me explain. Warmers.
But don't worry, you can still pick up the Moisture Medley.
We have 2 categories within warmers. We have full-size warmers and we have mini warmers, which means you can have 1 full-size warmer and 6 bars and save 10%, or you can have 1 mini warmer and 6 bars and save 10%. It applies to both. It applies to all pricing categories within any of our warmers that we have to offer. Simplified and simple, not being required to memorize the price level, or if that priced specific warmer is available in a bundle and save. Very simple. Let me go to the next one. The diffuser plus 6 oil.
I didn't know SCENTSY had oils as well.
We have 2 types of diffusers. We have a premium diffuser and we have a
Does it provide moisture as well?
deluxe diffuser. You add 1 diffuser and 6 oils, you're going to save 10%. Okay, pretty straightforward, pretty easy to follow. The next category is why I went through the new naming convention of SCENTSY Air, because we also have add a SCENTSY Air product and 6 of our pod twin packs, and you will save 10%. Yes, it applies to all 6 of our categories of SCENTSY Air products.
I want to know more about this Moisture Medley. Like, he just skipped over that. I think this is a missed opportunity here. I'm never going to let this go.
Talking SCENTSY Air Purifier. We're talking SCENTSY Air Quad, SCENTSY Air, SCENTSY Air Go, SCENTSY Air Mini, and SCENTSY Air Solo. I think I named them all 6 categories. You buy one of them and 6 pods, sets of pods, you're going to save 10%. Simple and easy and straightforward. And I'm excited for these changes. They simplify it. The discounts are slightly different, yes, but we also made some changes to make it easier for you and your customers. So in addition to the upsell feature on,
and yet, you know, it's like you just hear, maybe there's less and less people watching this video right through the bitter end. It's like, why am I still watching this? And yet I'm committed. I'm committed to seeing this through to the very end. I'm not even enjoying myself. Maybe there will be something that will be said that's kind of funny, but now I feel like I need to get this done. I feel like this is a nail in SCENTSY's coffin by me just watching this video. Maybe you're feeling that, because I'm feeling that watching this right now. I kind of want to click off, but I'm like, it's getting near the end here. Oh, but we still have way too much time. It says 56 minutes and 34 seconds onto this, onto his presentation.
On your personal website, which is going to be updated to reflect these new bundle and saves. It's also going to automatically apply the discount, reducing the confusion, reducing the need to go to your personal website, then under specials, and then going to go find the bundle and save section, clicking on those, and then building those products to get the discount. Instead, as your
serious question here, Dan, Why wasn't this implemented beforehand? And why is this coming so late in this ridiculous presentation just to explain that discounts will be automatically applied? Discounts will be automatically applied. I said that in 5 words. Oh my God. Dude, this is not simplification. Holy sweet mother of God.
Customers on your personal website, add the products to Moisture Medley, or
Yes.
add the products for a warmer and 6-bar set.
The hell is Moisture Medley? Is it a diffuser? Is it the body bar? They're no longer in Australia, New Zealand. They're not doing too well. They're like an anchor. They're pulling down all the sales. It's like actually damaging the reputation of SCENTSY. But Moisture Medley, is it? It is Moisture Medley. Why would you name a SCENTSY product Moisture Medley? It's like a medley of moistures. What does this product do?
They will automatically get the 10% discount by crossing out the price and showing them they saved 10% and get the discount automatically, so that your customers no longer will be missing those discounts when they qualify for those.
Like every other company does, it shows the discount that you're saving. We figured it out in 2025. That's what we're going to do here at SCENTSY.
Discounts. That's one change we made. The second change we made is that we will also have auto bundling or automatic application of these bundle and saves at the cart level in the workstation. As you enter in.
You know, my motivation for doing these videos is to help one person. Each time I make a video, it's one person. It's worth it. All the hours, it's worth it for one person. That's all it is. It might be for you. You could be watching this. You're like, I think I might be the only person watching the entirety of this video. This is for you. We don't even know each other, but it's just to help you deprogram, unpack, and maybe have a laugh, you know, then heal and move on from this. So pleased to meet you.
A party order and you're
happy to have you here.
Adding products to the cart. And
it's just us now. Us and Moisture Medley. We'll just figure it out together.
You're doing this by individual customers because you know if I enter in the customer data, then I'll be able to get the information of what they ordered and I can follow up with them more effectively. That in our workstation, in those carts, we will have auto bundling, meaning you don't need to enter in the bundle and saves either. We will have that automatically done for you, with one exception. The one exception is the buy 5, get 1 free. That buy 5, get 1 free, you type it in and then you enter in all 6 bars to get the 1 free.
Okay, so that's making it unnecessarily confusing, and it's also a surprise, going against your core value of simplicity and also contradicting old Chisel, old Brett Blake's book that you want everybody to buy with the renewal and then the compass that's off kilter. What the hell? You've gone on about how it's so easy for people to then get these discounts, and except this one. This one you have to enter in each of them individually, and then this isn't simple at all, Dan. This is a letdown. It's too much. People just want to buy a wax melt and a warmer because it looks cute and they want their house to smell nice. This is too much. This isn't going to acquire customers. This is just going to try to like keep the people in. It's like this whirlpool of SCENTSY participants that love their products so much. Some of them didn't even do this as a business. They really just did it as a hobby. Although they're spending so much more money, they never even tracked it. And they're like, oh my God, I don't want to spend as much money anymore. But this whirlpool, it's like sucking people in, but it's also spitting people out. It's like a centrifugal force kind of thing going on too. It's like sucking people in, but it's also spitting them out, like the old iron row carousel things on the playground. You go faster and faster and faster. You let go. You just get scraped up pretty good. Don't worry. Just put some soap on it. You'll be fine. You'll heal up. This isn't helping people. This isn't helping people acquire customers. This is so complicated. Imagine these people now going out into all the Facebook groups explaining this. And then if you don't understand it, you're going to have an upline saying, this is so easy. This company really cares about us. Most importantly, What is moisture medley?
That's the one exception. All other bundle and saves I just went through will be automatic in both the personal website for the customer and also for you as a consultant at the cart level in the workstation. Easily applying the discounts to each cart and making sure that customers don't miss out on discounts that they get by using these bundle and save options. We know this change is going to be disruptive. We know that
it's going to disrupt the network marketing industry. We're nowhere near the end of this. It's 59 minutes. We still have like at least 15 minutes to get through this.
Change kind of feels a little bit uncomfortable, but we are also confident that these
changes can be mitigated with the purchase of our moisture medley. It makes things a little bit less uncomfortable.
Changes move us in the right direction for the future. It modernizes our bundle and saves. And as we get through the change management of these, I know it's going to be easier to explain to customers. And I know it's going to be easier to train for new consultants coming in. Okay.
No, it won't.
That's all of our product changes. As you know, let me get to the next set of changes that you are also very aware of, and those are the activity and party tier changes coming up. As we discussed in our product offering, we have more products that are a different variety of pricing and offering than we've ever had before. When SCENTSY first started, we had, well, 1 or 2 warmer systems with simple pricing.
Oh my God.
At the beginning, we based our original party rules or party tiers and activity requirements on consultants having, you ready for this, a non-consultant host with 5 customers buying 5 warmers and bars. That's what the activity requirement was wrapped around.
No.
And what
are you ready? I wasn't ready for that. Whoa.
The party tiers were built off of. Yeah, about 10 years or a little bit less than 10 years ago, warmer pricing had increased and bars had increased so much that the activity requirement and party tier also needed to increase to support the activity levels that would generate momentum.
To make more money for us, to support the activity levels that would generate more momentum. A fucking word salad.
Remember the data numbers that I shared earlier? It showed that the total number of unique customers ordering through a consultant were declining. New customers coming in were declining, and yet average PRV per consultant remained the same, and total number of parties doubled.
So this is why your plan of attack here is going to fail, is because you're looking at 2 components of a problem, and you've cherry-picked these 2 components, and you think that you found a solution by only looking at those 2 components. You're discounting and excluding all other variables that is contributing to why there are less people purchasing SCENTSY products. And you think that this is going to change everything by just looking at those 2 things. Well, okay, so because I've looked at this graph and it shows that people that have parties and they tend to buy more, then that's what we're going to focus on. This is going to save our business. You're putting coal on the wrong fire. This is already sputtering out. You're not looking at what you should be looking at, and which is good because SCENTSY's going to continue to have the trend line that goes down.
This is the result of increased either pricing or product categories that make it simple for an order to qualify as a party and doesn't support those activities.
Making it more complicated and then saying it's simple doesn't fool anyone. This isn't simple. People don't have the patience for it. You could get away with this when it was there wasn't any more scrutiny, especially on social media. But a lot of people going into multi-level marketing companies, it's not their first rodeo. They have experience in other multi-level marketing companies where maybe it was more simple. And having a CEO tell them that this is simple, meanwhile, they're rambling on about all this ridiculous bundles and everything is supposed to be like a discount easily applied, like this is a revolutionary concept. Meanwhile, except there's one thing that you can't. You have to input it manually. Saying that it's simple and it's not simple and just keep repeating that isn't fooling anybody. People don't want this level of unnecessary complication in their life just to buy a wax warmer. I mean, my God, man.
That are
The best thing about this presentation has been like just the mention of moisture medley. That's it. That's it. This is it. If you're watching, this is going to be maybe a 2.5 hour video, maybe pushing 2:45. And the only thing you'll have learned from this is SCENTSY sells something called moisture medley. You're welcome. Was it worth it listening to me go on for that long? Sure.
crucial to building momentum, of finding new customers, engaging new customers, finding new consultants and engaging them as well. We are now at a point that we need to adjust that activity requirement and party tiers again. Starting March.
We need to charge you more money and make it harder for you to rank up. Good thing we've got moisture medley to lubricate those changes.
First, as you know, we are moving to 250 PRV as the required activity requirement. This is increasing from 200 PRV, and an important change in the efforts to start getting back to building momentum. I realize this is
making it harder for people. You have to spend more money to do this. You've lost a lot of consultants from this. This has backfired on you big time.
50 more PRV that would be required to either stay current or to have a downline team member be an active consultant and qualify.
Which is fitting the definition of a pyramid scheme. You're having to pay for purchases. There's a purchase requirement that is outside like the seller's cost for the sole purposes of retail sales, like to end users. This is just to remain active in a pyramid scheme. And people are going to be pressured, coerced to make these purchases themselves just to remain active. That's what's going on here.
For those commissions. We realize that this is going to be a stretch. It is going to be more of an effort. And as I thought about this, and
good thing you've got a product to help with that. I'm not going to let it go. I always take it too far. This is the Gen X in me. You'll be sick of it, but then you'll be waiting for it. It's like, say it again.
thought about what characteristics or what behavior change do we expect to come from it is, yes, it's going to be harder compared to 200. And in fact, if I asked all consultants, I'm sure people would say they would prefer it to stay at 200.
You've lost a lot of consultants. They're leaving because of this. They're trying to find a reason to stay, but it's not worth it. And so what's going to happen is that if they haven't left yet, they're on their way out. They're looking at how much money they've spent because you're demanding even more. And it's just not worth it for them. That's what's happening.
But as we ask consultants and you to stretch a little bit more, you may need to find another customer. You may need to follow up a little bit more with previous customers to get that one more product or a few more products ordered, which creates the ability to increase the number of customers potentially ordering, which means you have more SCENTSY products in front of them to experience and to enjoy the fragrance in their homes, which creates a more likely of a scenario where they may have that aha moment of being able to see you and say, I want to partner with SCENTSY. I want
to sell it too. The whole point of this is to recruit. The whole structure of this company is geared for one purpose and one end, and that is to recruit people into it. This is incentivization for recruitment. It does not matter. The bundles, the discounts, the simplification, the chisel, the moisture medley. It doesn't remember. All of that is for this purpose. And that's what the FTC looks at.
What you do, which will increase the number of recruits we get at SCENTSY, and their engagement and that hope and that momentum is built. That's why we're changing it from 200 PRV to 200.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all. What a ridiculous, rambling, circular thing to just go on about. That's why. We need to make it harder for you to remain active, and you need to spend more money because that's going to get you more products in front of people. And just by you spending more money, that's going to ultimately ignite the hope and momentum in someone that says, I can do exactly what you do because I can see you spending more and more money each month. And I see your inventory taking over your whole fucking house. I want to be just like you. I want to go to every yard sale that I see in my small community and see SCENTSY stuff for sale because people have been inventory loading for so many years. Oh, sign me up. Damn, this is disgusting.
And 50 PRV. There's changes related to this that I wanted to explain. Know that our party tiers are going to change to match as well. Party tiers are based off of subtotals and local currency, depending on which country you live in. The charts that I'm using here today are only in US dollars, but I know that we have communicated out the different amounts for the different currencies. So please bear with me as I share US currency numbers as we've increased the starting point of a new party. So all parties.
Oh my God, $250 US. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. I think that's less than, or that's more than me if I were to sign up for like a half Ironman, you know, and do like that, do a race. I mean, mind you, it's been a number of years. It's probably, and maybe it's increased. $250 US. If that's the same kind of, I don't think it would be, it could be 250 Canadian if they just did it. I doubt it. How much Canadian that would be with our dollar so low? $250 US. Are you kidding me? That is so high. Wow. Wow. I am so surprised. Oh, this is making it so much harder for people, which is good because they're going to get pushed out.
The first tier will be going from, in US dollars, from $200 to $250.
Wow.
We will still have our other tiers. Tier 2 will start at $400, Tier 3 at $600, and Tier 4 at $1,000. No change in host rewards.
What tier do you get the moisture medley at? That's what I want to know.
Percentages or half price items. No changes there.
Does it come with a rubber glove?
That will continue and move up with the new tiered mark. One point that
Does it come with a cease and desist and a rubber glove? Yeah, I'm just curious.
I want to make out where there is free shipping at Tier 2. There is still free shipping at Tier 2. It's just at that $400 US dollar mark. So that free shipping still is maintained, and you just have to continue to hit that Tier 2 to receive that.
So you have to hit $250 or whatever for the first tier, but then you have to pay shipping? You don't even get free shipping with SCENTSY. You have to pay until you make the leap to a $400 of sales. So somebody that made $350 or $375, they're still going to have to pay shipping. Wow.
Free shipping. Connected
For wax melts.
To the new activity level
And moisture medley.
Are the monthly sales award bonus threshold. This will also be changing. For those that know
Lots of happy endings with SCENTSY.
this, you know that if you hit 2,000 PRV in one calendar month, you get a 5% bonus in your sales, taking you from 25% on
Can slide right onto the next tier level.
your PRV to 30% on your PRV. That number is also increasing from 2,000 to 2,500 PRV.
Monthly sales, yeah, that 2,000 to 2,500. That is, it's too high.
Interestingly enough, and you should know this, and I bet many of you do, this puts you on the path to achieving the annual sales award. By hitting 2,500 in 12 months on average over the SCENTSY Awards calendar, you can earn the annual sales award and be recognized on SFR and receive financial.
You earn a tube of moisture medley and you realize you've just been fucked. Good for you for hitting this 2,500 minimum PRV for 12 months straight. Maybe you'll get a little t-shirt It's like screen printed. SCENTSY award. I'll be pulling that out when you exit. You'll find that buried in your closet. You'll be like, oh my God, I remember that years of my life I wasted in this commercial cult.
Reward as well. So that one is also moving from 2,000 to 2,500. Now we have one final change to discuss.
Oh, thank
And let me
God.
get to that. With the activity requirement changing from 200 to 250, we also took a very long look at our cancellation policy. Currently it states, and you know this already, so right now you need, or your downline team member needs, at least one 200 PRV month in the last 4 to make sure that you maintain your team. Or you hit 200 PRV in one of the last 12 months to stay current at SCENTSY and not be canceled. That number is going from 200 to 250.
Making it easier for people to leave. Well done. Whatever in the last 4 months or then one in the whole year. So they were both 200 PRV, but now they're 250 PRV. So they're just like making it more, you have to spend more money. But the distributors, the consultants are the ultimate customers anyway.
Okay, so that will continue to be a requirement at 4 months or at 12 months to hit 250 in one of the calendar months out of the last 4 or the last 12. This is something.
Why do they have to keep making purchases in just to like be a part of this? Why can't you just, you know, in multi-level marketing, they like to say it's just like Costco. Costco, you can just buy a membership and that's it. You don't have to keep making monthly purchases every month and then attend a Zoom training and talk about if you don't increase your purchases each month or in 4 months or then in a year, then you're going to not be active anymore. It's very easy. I can just do a Costco run when I'm up in the city and then I'm good to go. I might not go for a few more months. But this is a multi-level marketing pyramid scheme. People are going to lose their business, lose their status, whatever, if they don't up the purchases. They've upped everything. Everything is from 200 PV to up to 250 PRV, 2,000 PRV to 2,500 PRV. Not a good look. Not a good look, Dan.
Thing that we continue to do because it's important that we want to establish a community that if people want to be part of SCENTSY, they need to have at least 250 PRV to stay current with SCENTSY. The people that I'm talking to may be more hobbyists. They may be those that love SCENTSY products and use it for personal use. We realize that.
And so we don't care. Bye-bye. You weren't really a part of this anyway. This is really just about money.
Similar to what I said before, it will be more difficult. But as we stretch and as we've talked about with increased prices on our products and the variety of products at the higher base point.
I mean, what the hell is moisture medley? What the hell is moisture medley? Who came up with the name of that? And what is it?
We know this will encourage behavior that will help create momentum at SCENTSY at all levels. They are part of the SCENTSY family, and I don't discredit any of that. And we hope to support them any way we can from the home office, and we hope to support any of these from.
You were a part of the family, but now the hobbyists, well, you could just sign up for the discount. You could just do this as a hobby. Suddenly, we don't care if you just signed up for the discount or just a hobby. You're already a category of they. We know it's going to be harder for them. You're already excluded. You're already feeling being pushed out. Oh, I have to change my behavior in order to be part of this community. I have to spend more. Yeah.
Leaders and from upline sponsors as well, as we all want to play a part of that to contribute
My God.
to SCENTSY and to the SCENTSY family. Now, while we looked at it and we were looking at the cancellation policy of 12 months, we've built in this behavior at SCENTSY that consultants with downline team members sometimes would follow up with a kind of a harsh reminder to their downline team member that
consultants would follow up with the harsh reminder, or were they prompted by you? Don't be blaming your participants. They're told they're going to lose it if they don't spend more money. Don't be gaslighting their own participants. God, these CEOs are just revolting the way they can't, predominantly women who are losing money in this scam. And he has the gall to talk to them about that. Oh, in the past, we've seen some consultants that were too harsh. You're pathetic, Dan. This is such a joke. Insulting these participants trying to work their businesses, that they love their products so much. They were doing what they were told. I'm glad this is out here in its pure, lengthy, just moisture medleyest form for everybody to see. Dan in his glory, the CEO of a multi-level marketing company.
Are coming up on one of those 4-month or 12-month marks, and they are needed to put a 250 PRV order in. And that follow-up tend to revolve around, do this so you don't get canceled, or so you don't lose your team. That follow-up was a hammer. That follow-up was a stick.
Yeah, well, what you're doing is a hammer and a stick right now to everybody. You're saying it's helping them give hope and momentum. It's the opposite.
Came up with the 250 to change how we can motivate our team members in a positive way to make an impact to them.
So at the end of the year, they're going to be like not having to do that. Oh, hey, it's 250 in order to avoid getting canceled. This is actually just about hope and momentum. Literally making no sense.
So what we did is we made one other change as of March 1st.
No SCENTSY here.
Essential consultant will now be a rank, meaning any consultant that is certified or above who is not active in a calendar month, meaning doesn't hit 250 PRV in a calendar month or more, they will be paid at a 20% commission for that month.
They'll be penalized. Is that right? They're going to get paid less on commission. Where does the other 80% of their commission go, by the way? In a normal sales job, the bulk of the commission goes to the sales rep. But in a pyramid scheme, there's something called extreme money transfer from the bottom to the top, which is what is being evidenced here. 20%. I think it was before, it was 25%. Now you have to get 250 PV in order to get 25% or 250 PRV. 80% of that commission flows up to all the different levels of the pyramid scheme, most of it residing at the top. Where does 80% go? You're only getting 20%. What a joke.
For those that hit over or above 250 PRV in a calendar month, who are certified or higher, will earn 25% commission.
Where does the 75% go?
Okay, so let me say that one more time. Essential consultant is now going to be a paid at rank for all consultants across all countries that are certified title or above. As long as your PRV is 250 or above, you will get 25% commissions. Any month that it's
incentivizing participants to pay money for purchases, products that they don't need, just to remain active in the pyramid scheme. Incentivization for participants to buy things that they don't need. They will be rewarded for their behavior. I can't wait to see this company collapse too.
below 250 PRV, it will be 20% commissions. Okay, this is what it looks like to make sure we are speaking the same language.
Oh, we know. It's easy to understand. If you get 250 PRV or higher, you're going to get a 25% commission, which is still abysmal. 75% of that commission should be in your pocket. The less amount should be going up if you had a manager, if you were going to compare it, you know, to another, like an actual business. But this is a pyramid scheme. So then if you don't have 250 PRV, you're going to only be making 20%. And 80% flows up. You cannot win in these scams. Most people are losing money, and most people are going to continue to lose money. This is good because this is going to exclude more and more people, because this isn't happening in a vacuum. Participants are actually starting to calculate how much money they've spent, and they're coming across anti-MLM content. They're starting to critically think, and they're starting to make informed decisions now.
The one bit that we are looking forward to see the behavior change and the reasons why team members or leaders follow up with their downline, frontline members is this. This now gives you and all sponsors a reason to.
If you're only at 215 PRV, did you know if you just bought something that you don't really need, that will bump you up to 250 PRV, and then you'll earn 25%. This isn't a hammer or a stick. This is a carrot. This is an incentive.
Reach out monthly to those on their way to 250.
You're having to reach out monthly. The best stuff is always at the end of these things. They have to like fill up your mind with cotton balls and word salad to like confuse you, dull your senses until they like put all the stuff, the meat at the end. So the consultants, which are the distributors, the bulk of the customers rather, they're being taught and coached to follow up every month with all their other consultants in the downline, people that are other business, they think that they're business owners, and encouraged to spend more money. Well, because you're going to get paid more money. If you're just this far away, don't you want to get 25% instead of 20%? None of them have done any calculations about how much money they're losing. This isn't a hammer and a stick approach. This is a carrot approach. Wow.
50 to let them know and encourage them to hit 250 PRV for an extra 5% bonus in their PRV commissions. Rather than the threat of cancellation every 12 months, this is a monthly follow-up that you can follow up with a carrot, with something that.
I can't believe he said carrot. And I mean, it was natural he was going to say it because he introduced the stick, and it's like the carrot and the stick, but still. I feel like I should get an award for that, a participation trophy.
They can strive to achieve to earn that extra 5%.
Oh, thank goodness the upline is so thoughtful. They're going to follow up with you every single month to get you to spend more money, to spend 250 PRV every single month. Who on God's green earth needs that many wax melts? It's too much. 250. If it's $250, I don't spend $250 on groceries per month. You know, every once in a while I'll do like a big shop, but I don't even spend that much. $250 on what? What are you spending $250 on these like purchases? In MLM I was though. Oh God, I haven't even added up what I spent in Monate. On the coaching, oh, don't want to look at that. But in real life, $250 worth of wax melts and warmers, oils, moisture medley. Okay, maybe I can see that.
We believe this change will drive more activity as your team members strive to reach higher PRV. We believe as you stretch yourself to hit that new 250 level, you will introduce SCENTSY to more customers, that it will eventually lead to more recruits and more team members that will be these fundamental building blocks to momentum and SCENTSY in the future. Now,
I like when he gets big like that. This is pretty epic. I think it's so cool. It's such a fucking power move. Go, Dan. Do it.
Covered a lot today. I hope it gave you more context to the communications that were sent out. I hope that I was able to answer a lot of the questions that came in either through Facebook or through chat. I've been able to capture a lot of that feedback and help to understand the reasons behind the decisions that were made. I know that change is difficult. And I know that we'll continue to watch this and continue to focus on this and continue to support this as we build this momentum together and as we focus on those 4 key areas here in 2025. It all starts with new customer acquisition. And I know it's going to take hard work. I know it's going to take grit. I know it's going to take this.
And you're going to have bloody knuckles. You have grit in your hair, and you're going to fight the fight of SCENTSY.
Tenacity. It's going to take all of us to do this. I love this quote. It says,
oh, no. They never can just end either. They always got to like wrap it up with just the more rambling on. And I wonder if he's actually going to quote the first quote, no idea who said it. Second quote was a thesis written by a participant in the scam. And now what do we got here? It's probably from Abraham Lincoln. SCENTSY is the best MLM of 2025. Abraham Lincoln.
remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together.
What does that mean? Doesn't work for Iron Man. It's a solo sport. Nobody's going, a lot of people. I didn't have anybody that wanted to be going on these long bike rides with me. Most of the training is done alone. You got to go far. You got to go together. I mean, it's like a nice little cliche to feel we're going to work together. We're going to have this long-term goal. And at the same time, I just want to punch a hole in it because it's not a blanket truth, you know? They just pick these quotes to be like, oh, this is going to inspire you. After we've moved the goalposts, made it difficult for you to earn a commission. We're going to shrink it from 25% to 20%. You're going to get penalized for not spending more money. You're going to get reminded, so helpful every month from your upline. It's a carrot. It's not a stick. I'm doing this to help you, not hurt you. And now I'm going to leave you this quote. We got to do it together. Meanwhile, all these SCENTSY participants have left and they've posted about it. They're like, after all this length of time, I'm leaving SCENTSY. I didn't want to. I really love the products. And some of them weren't like really deep into this thing. You know, they just really like the products and they're like, I'm just out. It's just not for me. It's just too much money. It's doing the opposite. It's not going to be filling the void. You're doing the opposite of what you should be doing for your business. What you should be doing is trying to retain the people that you already have, because acquiring a new person into this pyramid scheme is getting increasingly difficult, and it will only continue to increase in difficulty, regardless of how many tubes of moisture medley you put on sale and bundle up and have to add 10% discount at the checkout. It's not going to work.
SCENTSY Home Office is not going anywhere. We are here to support you. We are doubling down on the fundamental principles of direct selling to help you to support your team, to be your best self, to be part of the SCENTSY community, and to be able to create an environment where you can flourish. We are here to support you. We love you. I hope that this Zoom call has been helpful. Share it with your others. Share it with your team. Give us your feedback. We want.
Oh my God, Dan telling you we love you. Right, cult at the end.
Want to listen. We want to turn.
Oh, just goodbye. He's the guy at the end of the party where you're like, I gotta go home, and he walks you to the door and he just keeps talking. It's like, oh, and one more thing, and you're like, just let me go.
The ship around and build this rhythm and momentum.
Oh my, we heard this already.
Create so much hope and excitement that you want to shout and share SCENTSY with everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. We love you. Take care.
Enough.
And we will see you soon at World Tour.
Oh, adios, amigo. Thank God that's over. If you made it, I think I'm going to have to make a certificate for this one too. I make these longer videos, or when I did that, like a series of videos, like the 14-day challenge, and then I made the certificate at the end that you can print off or just like take a screenshot of. I think I got to do that for this one. This is like SCENTSY. And the way he talks at the end about like World Tour, it's always they miss out the description of it, like the World Tour or SCENTSY's World Tour. It's always like dumbed down. Like that other video I reacted to, it's like ask upline. It's like this baby talk. We're going World Tour is happening. Like they just miss out some other words that they should be using to describe this thing. You know, it's so cult, it's so culty, you know. But I think I'm going to make a certificate. I'll post it on Instagram stories. I'll post it on Instagram stories, and I'll also post it on my Instagram just as a post. So whenever you come across this video, if you want, I'll make it. It'll be bad. It'll have a capybara on it. It'll have, oh yeah, I know what it'll have on it. So then you can, it'll be like part of the joke. Anyway, I hope that if you're in SCENTSY and you've made it this far through the video, it maybe gave you a couple of laughs, maybe help you see that you're not alone in seeing that these changes are actually hurting you. They're not helping your company. I get that most people now watching this video are not going to be in SCENTSY and, like, you know, deep in the indoctrination thinking it's so amazing. It's kind of, when it's a video of this length, it usually gets rid of a lot of that. It's just, people think they just can't stand to have that much criticism. And I wouldn't want to watch it either, you know, to be honest. But I do hope that this helped give you, it helped you to see somebody outside of this, just picking apart everything that's wrong, the ludicrousness of this, the unnecessary complication, talking about simplifying things and then not simplifying things, encouraging you to even buy this another book, another personal development book. The world needs another MLM personal development book, like we need a hole in our heads, you know? I mean, enough already. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. It'll probably be shorter, and maybe it'll be a live stream coming up at some point. Thank you. Bye.